And now, man, please turn your attention to the Bethpage scoreboard left side field. Here's the road from Long Island Cares.
You know that one person out of every town Long Island will go to sleep hungry tonight. Long Island is home to the Ducks, and home of Long Island Cares.
Come on, guys, fill those boxes.
We're working together to end hunger in the world, and we need your help. Be part of the winning team. Donate our crew drive. Online at LICares.org. Or right here at Bethpage Ballpark. Join the Ducks. And they're playing against the Long Island Cares. And that includes you.
I was always with everything in Green Street each other that was the confidence. Bethpage Ballpark has a great offer from both Level Sporting Goods on the good side of your ticket shop. Look it over, take a good look, and you'll see your ticket coupon for 15% off your total purchase, courtesy of both Level Sporting Goods. Remember, the Long Island Ducks always say, you just gotta go to those. We'd like to remind the fans it's Central at 2:02, and if one lucky fan is selected to keep track of all the strikeouts by every Ducks pitcher. Every time the Long Island Ducks pitcher strikes out a Bluefish batter tonight, that lucky fan will put another K on the Southern Connection skateboard located behind home plate tonight in Section 202. Municipal Trade Union have teamed up again this season to present the Walk to the Purpose promotion. Every time the Long Island Ducks player walks here at home, Municipal Trade Union will make a donation to the Proper Tax Foundation. That's the Municipal Trade Union, serving members since 1916.
Sizzling succulent filet mignon, scrumptious salmon Florentine, pork chops, getting hungry, wait, pork's and quick, Fairfield County's elegant spot.
Courtesy of our good friends from Bethpage Manufacturing Company, we'll invite you to visit their information table located on the main concourse right behind home plate next to the Newsday Customer Service Center. Bethpage Manufacturing Company, tonight's game sponsor.
Like beer, tasty, you don't ban not bad down, because up is way better than down. You don't tell someone sad and cheer down. What's down going? A speedy pile and you just stepped in it. Your girlfriend's not wearing a push down bra. It's called gravity. I see it with, but I'm in town front with you. This town talk is bringing them down. So don't back down. Man up. And she's a light beer with 4 tiers. Triple Ops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste sweetness. Happy to love Wisconsin. Great beer. Responsibility. And Miller Lite. We know there's only one thing baseball fans love as much as great Pilsner teams, and that's rooting for the home team, because home is way better than away. Away is not where the heart is. Bringing away to Bacon. Why? Bacon is delicious. Away is where you hang your hat. You should be hung up by your underpants. So why root for the away team when you can root for the home team with that great Pilsner taste of Miller Lite? Triple Ops Miller Lite. Taste greatness. And the Brewing Company of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Sure, too. It's fantastic. Golf team from a golf trip that you never
melting on real hot. Comes to us. The hotel. Let's not talk about the hotel. You don't know the players. That's where it's
and now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please bring your attention to the first pitchers now here at Bethpage Ballpark. On this Thursday evening, we're very proud to present the Long Island Ducks on their host. Here he is, Paulo Bridgeport.
Thank you, George Paulo. So, welcome to Bethpage Ballpark. I want to start off by thanking tonight's game sponsor, Limited Manufacturing Company. First 1,500 fans to see those Long Island Ducks. Thanks to Livingston. And now, joining us here on the mound, I am joined by the President and CEO of Livingston, Mr. Don Hendler. He's throwing out a ceremonial first pitch for Buddy House. And Don? Ladies and gentlemen, let's go with Don Hendler here tonight with our game sponsor, Livingston Manufacturing.
This presentation of Bridgeport Bluefish Baseball is presented by the Bridgeport Bluefish Broadcast Network. Harry Miles here. The Bluefish are about to take on the Long Island Ducks in less than 20 minutes' time. Hello, everyone. Harry Miles here. The Bluefish coming off of 7 losses in the past 9 games. Their offense has been reeling a bit, scoring 4 runs or less in each of those 7 losses. Meanwhile, the Long Island Ducks, they just beat the Lancaster Barnstormers, the Freedom Division leaders, heading into tonight's action. They beat them 2 out of 3 times. Long Island situated themselves 3.5 games ahead of first place or second place Bridgeport in the standings, as both teams will duke it out tonight. It is Gilbert De La Vara going to the hill for the Bluefish. He'll be opposed by right-hander Joe Esposito. Plenty of experience there. Esposito's reached as high as AA baseball in his career after going through to NYIT Division I ranks. Gilbert De La Vara has reached AAA baseball with the Omaha Royals as the Yuma, Arizona native continues on the hill, making his 6th start of the year. 1 win, 1 loss, and ERA south of 5 against Esposito's 2-2 with an ERA of 5.97. When we come back on Bluefish Baseball, we're going to have the starting lineup. A few changes for the Fish and some great news for Jody Gathright. You're listening to Party Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back after this.
In consideration of the health and public record, smoking is prohibited in all areas of the ballpark. The meeting is going to present the machine lobby corridor, located on the left corridor behind her plate. There the antenna will assist you. Long on the website, you cannot smoke weed here at our ballpark. Thinking Bethpage Ballpark, smoke free. And going to Long Island Ducks of the Weed Spirit by being responsible about alcohol consumption. Please remember the thing when you drink is please be aware that anyone purchasing alcoholic beverages must show valid ID. Long Island Ducks, thank you once again.
It's getting your road trip back on track. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for. Visit YP.com and YP.com Now everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. You search for the real love, for the contract, or for your current vehicle. It's not just getting directions from driving.
The latest sophomore started with every 2012 round school, giving the field here at Bethpage Ballpark, beat that city last season. The latest sophomore serving Long Island for over 7 years. Now, baseball fans, please take a look at that new scoreboard left center field. Here's a run from Blue Travel, Long Island. Baseball fans, now it's time to get the Long Island Ducks scorecards, your pens and your pencils, because here's tonight's Investment Bank Sky Lighters. For the Bridgeport Bluefish, managed by Willie Upshaw, these offense players up for you. Number 17, Kennard Jones, number 17. Riding second, at second base, number 4, Pedro Lopez, number 4. Taking the clear position in right field, number 27, Curtis Rickman, number 47. Batting the home position from the Bluefish, in center field, number 8, Colin Malone, number 8. The equipment for race, number 19, Luis Bethpage, number 19. Batting the sixth position with designated hitter, number 3, Ramon Vasquez, number 3. Batting seventh at first base, number 23, Rock Peterson, number 23. Batting the eighth position with the Bridgeport Bluefish, catcher number 9, Louis Rodriguez, number 9. And in the ninth position, of course, Bridgeport Bluefish, at shortstop, number 1, Eddie Rogers, number 1. Pitching tonight for the Bluefish, warming up in the original bullpen. He is the left field line. The club hitter, number 22.
Bluefish baseball is back on the air here. Perry Miles with you. The Bluefish and the Long Island Ducks about to compete for the 4th time this season. The Bluefish have won the first 3 games in this Ferry Cup rivalry. It has been quite a run for the Bluefish, but an even better one since the Bluefish took down the Ducks 3 straight at the ballpark at Bridgeport. Let's take a look at the starting lineups, as the Bluefish are going to be without Joey Gabriel for the foreseeable future. He was signed by the Cincinnati Reds organization, as the Louisville Bats will be taking over his services and perhaps playing the outfield position. The Cincinnati Reds have signed him to a contract, as the Bluefish are going to be without him. Bernard Jones is in left field, he'll lead off, and Pedro Lopez returns from a sore hand. He had second and plays second. Prentice Redmond is over in right field, batting third while Colin Malone is at fourth, and is going to be playing center field for Joey Gathright. Luis Lopez bats fifth and plays third base. Ramon Vasquez is the designated hitter batting sixth. Rock Peterson is the first baseman batting seventh. Louis Machete Rodriguez, the bats lead and does the catching, while Eddie Rogers rounds out the Bluefish rotation behind Gilbert De La, who features a fastball, curveball, changeup. Each of those pitches can be thrown with effectiveness 90 to 93 miles per hour for Gilbert De La. Let's not forget about the curveball, the changeup, 10 to 15 miles per hour different from the left-hander. He has been able to throw very well over his last couple of starts, and the Bluefish are hoping to get another one out of him. His first win as a member of the Bluefish was his last time out, where he went 5 innings against the Skeeters and gave up just those 2 runs. Before that, he worked 6 innings of 1 earned run baseball against the River Sharks. So he has been improving in durability and efficiency at the mound, and he's hoping that he can come up with another victory today against the team that owns the best record in the Atlantic League. 3.5 games ahead of the Bluefish are the Long Island Ducks, and they will feature this starting lineup. Greg Binnick leads up and plays center field. Wilberto Ortiz is the third baseman, batting second, while Brandon Singh bats third and is the DH. Brett Esquivel is the left fielder, batting fourth. Ray Neverett bats fifth and plays second base, while Sean Williams bats sixth and plays first base. He was the Long Island Ducks Player of the Week this past week, nearly hitting 500 for the week. Meanwhile, Reed Gorecki, who's been dealing with a groin problem, he is batting in the 7th slot in right field. Josh Johnson is the catcher, batting 8th, and Dan Lyons rounds out this Ducks rotation, the shortstop of the ball club. He's backed by Joe Esposito, who a couple of years ago was a member of Long Island after he only reached A-ball, and he performed quite well, was an all-star for the team, and wound up being one of the spearheads of the rotation, wound up going to the Philadelphia Phillies organization, working his way all the way to Double-A before making it back to Long Island. The NYIT grad wound up going to professional baseball's high as AA, and he makes his way to the mound. Fastball, changeup, curveball, the three typical pitches. Occasionally we'll throw that slider as well. And Esposito ranges anywhere from 87 to 90 miles per hour on the radar gun. He is a Long Island native, and this was his hometown team growing up, other than maybe the New York Yankees or the New York Mets for the Major League time. But let's take a look at the updated standings courtesy of the Bluefish broadcast. We mentioned about the 3.5 games that separate the Bluefish from the Ducks. With the win yesterday, the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs are now 13-13 on the year at 500. The River Sharks at 11-14 on the season, 16 back of front-running Long Island. Lancaster at 14-12. The Bluefish and the Barnstormers share the best record, the second best record in the league, behind that 17-8 mark set by Long Island. Somerset at 13-12. Sugarland opens up at 11-14. And the York Revolution, they've been miserable since winning 2 consecutive championships, as it seems that they've been unable to pitch and unable to maintain their consistency on offense as well. The Bluefish and the Long Island Ducks coming up today from Bethpage Ballpark. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network. When we come back, we'll talk about a couple of moves. The Bluefish made a couple of moves from Long Island as well this past week, and then it's off to first pitch. We'll be right back after this.
Best girlfriend ever. It had been a long day and an even longer week, so I headed toward the kitchen where freshmen I didn't see. But after swinging open the fridge, I saw the most horrific sight. Not a single cold beverage, not a single Coors Light. I grabbed my keys. It was time to hit the store, but stopped when I heard a knock at the door. It was my girlfriend, bearing gifts of Coors Light. Best girlfriend ever? You got that right. Frosty Coors Light. Fresh and deep. We're still going to come up. Bring it up. Let's go. Behind everything you're searching for, something you're actually looking for. When you flip through the whole other pages book, you're actually looking for retail code, renegade faucet. It's not just giving directions to a tailor like Viking.com. It's looking for the best right here. It's more than Viking.com.
And baseball fans, while you're here tonight, why not sign up to join our 50-50 raffle? First 50-50 raffle ticket will save you front of our all workshop on the main concourse right behind the play. I actually one direction for the inside and your mushroom person who need to prize. It's only $1 ticket, $1 for 6 tickets. All the person needs to go to the Crockett Back Foundation, the charitable arm of the Long Island Ducks. Remember, that's the table with First Water Workshop on the main concourse behind the play. Sign up for our 50-50 raffle during this evening. Remember, we are active in the living. Good luck, Crockett Back Foundation, and your Long Island Ducks.
Baseball legend Henry Aaron reflects on his own legacy. I think that since I played for the group, it should be what I did. It's proud of them, everything. You can see it. Really want to build it. Celebrate the game. Celebrate the legacy. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org. Mike Piazza talks about the baseball hall connection with the history of the game. The tradition of this game or how important this game is to the fabric of society. It's something I used to want with my father, and I will always, and I'll love to sort of teach my kids the history of baseball. Preserving history, honoring history, connecting generations.
On Saturday, August 7th, you can see a lot of talks about baseball Hall of Fame. Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Round approach bus registration, overnight lodging, and a suite ticket with all you can eat dinner are part of the itinerary. Now, more about the 2012 Silver Block Road Trip on visiting the Tuesday Customer Service Center, located on the 8th Court Street, behind Home Lake. That's Marvin Jessica, and should be all the information about it. What we're hoping to sort of be that you, Facebook Blog, and Long Island Ducks Baseball. Remember, it's coming out on Saturday, July the 7th, when the Long Island Ducks visit Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
It's where the history of the sport meets so much. It's something we should never forget. That's why anytime that I've been just like a weekend, you've done a great job preserving. Celebrate the game. Celebrate the passion. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org. Celebrate the game. Celebrate the passion. Baseball has been in a lot of ways where the history of the sport means so much. And it's something we
We welcome you back to the Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles here. The Bluefish and the Long Island Ducks almost underway for the Ferry Cup Series. The Bluefish currently lead after 4 games, wound up winning 3 contests. Since then, the Bluefish went to an extreme high, 12 wins and 5 losses, before coming well back down to earth now. 14 wins and 12 losses today, and they may have even got worse news in a sense, because even though players are going to go to affiliated baseball, they would like, or at least the team would like nothing more than have the team succeed, because not only bring the fans, but also bring the baseball. And so, congratulations to Jody Gaffrey, the center fielder signed by the Louisville Bats, a Cincinnati Reds affiliate, and he's going to report to AAA baseball coming up in the next few days. Meanwhile, Brad Furnish has been released, and because of those 2 moves, combined with the fact that the Bluefish were able to sign 1 player, it brings their total number of players to 24, as the Bluefish have signed Peter Barrow, the University of Bridgeport graduate, and he is a local product from the state of Connecticut as he makes his way through the Atlantic League. Last year he was with Wichita of the Independent Baseball, 2 different teams back in 2011. He never played affiliated baseball, and Willie Upshaw is going to continue to work with Barrow to make sure that he can find some of the goals to relieve some of the issues that the Bluefish have. As we are almost on the win, they might get our attention now to behind home plate, where the national anthem is being performed by a musical group of band to the left side of home plate, so we will step right aside and make sure that you can hear all that is happening at the baseball park.
Keep about the Green Team. Tonight's Keep About Green Team is from the Central Islip. Please give a hand and help the field. Congratulations to the Central Islip. You're tonight's Keep About Green Team here at Bethpage Ballpark. Next call artists to honor America and to honor our flag are in the third base coaching box. They are pack 625 from Middle Island and pack 163 from Smithtown. Now we have to please rise and remove your hats and caps. Tonight we are joined by the Albany Avenue School Band from Farmingdale, who will lead us in the playing of our national anthem.
That was a solid performance from the band behind home plate in the left field area, and the Bluefish and the Ducks are about to get underway in part 4 of this epic series, the very tough series, with the right-hander Joe Esposito making his way, taking them out. The right-hander has done much better of late. In his only outing against the Bluefish early in the year, he gave up a grand slam to Tom Malone, a 2-run triple. Joey Gatvright, one of those two players no longer with the Buffalo, that being Jack Gatvright, after he was picked up by the Cincinnati Reds organization. The Bluefish were hoping that Peter Barrow will replace some of what Joey Gatvright provided. Of course, you're not going to replace the 20-run scorer or the 9 stolen bases, rather difficult to do in this league with the caliber of catchers and battery mates between pitchers, changing rhythms, and catchers. It's going to be very difficult to replace that. But what we do know is that there is a new leadoff hitter, and his name is Kennard Joe, as he takes a couple of practice swings in the on-deck circle, and Joe Esposito about to make his way through. He's lasted 6 innings or more in his last 4 starts, but the first one against the Bluefish, it was in a losing effort as he allowed 7 runs, all of them coming in the first couple of innings of the contest. And the biggie was a grand slam from Tom Malone. He'll have to face up against him today. Meanwhile, even though Gatvright is not in the lineup, there are quite a few other formidable forces to be challenged, and one of them just so happens to be Prentice Redmond, who is going to be batting third today, and he has a 23-game on-base streak. He's due up third against Joe Esposito tonight. Let's take a look at the defensive tandem for the Ducks. It is Roberto Ortiz, along with Dan Lyons on the left side of the infield. Brady Everett is at second base, and Sean Williams over at first. Matt Esquivel, Craig Binnick, and Reed Gurecki from left to right in the outfield. Josh Johnson behind home plate. He was a little bit banged up, but he is playing today after he hit himself basically by throwing the ball, came backwards, hit himself in the noggin, and that unfortunate break led to a bruise, but he is okay. Johnson sets up outside. The first pitch is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. First pitch at 6:37 Eastern Standard Time. The 1-0 is over the middle of the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jones at 17 RBI on the year, batting .324 as he delivers again. The next pitch is a fastball high. 2 balls and 1 strike. The problem with the Bluefish has been their inability to control the rhythm of the pitchers, perhaps not stepping out enough, and perhaps not getting the ball where it needs to be in the outfield as the next pitch is stroked out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And many times, the Bluefish have had a couple of players perform well, and then the others have not been able to pick up the teammates. The 2-2 swung on and served high in the air to right center field, but playable for the captain of the outfield today, Craig Binnick, for the first out as he grabs it. An F8 for Kennard, and it sets up Pedro Lopez. It is expected to be a medium-sized to capacity crowd at the ballpark, Bethpage Ballpark. Central Islip, New York, and Suffolk County, about 40 minutes east of Queens, New York. It is in the New York City metropolitan area, as an alternative to minor league baseball that you would see Staten Island or Brooklyn. Much better quality of baseball in the Atlantic League than it would be in short season A, as the pitch is popped up by Lopez to first. The second baseman had missed a couple of days, and he commits the second out with Sean Williams tracking it down close to the coach's box in foul ground. 2 away on the PF3 for Lopez, and it sets up Prentice Redmond. No score on top of the first inning. Redmond, a 23-game on-base streak heading into today, and 21 of 23 he has picked up a hit. He is something to be reckoned with. He's had a couple of home runs this year, but it's been really all about his ability to get on base. 2-out toss, slides to the outside corner, and clips, no balls and 1 strike. Esposito's ERA has gone down considerably over the last few games because of his success. The 0-1 drifts to the outside corner again. Esposito firing strike 1, strike 2. Is he able to get out of the inning, or will Prentice Redmond fight it out and perhaps get on base? The 0-2 fastball high is Redmond had to back his head out of the way. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Esposito's struggle is only outing against the Bluefish this year, and he's hoping to recover as he did to start off the first inning. A strike 3 call on the outside corner as it was swung on and missed. And that ends the inning for the Bluefish. 8-1-2-3-3 in the first. No score for Bethpage Ballpark. The Ducks coming up in the bottom half of inning 1. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back.
There's only one thing baseball fans love as much as great Pilsner taste, and that's drink for the whole team. That's always way better than away. Away is not where the heart is. Bringing away the bacon. Why? Bacon is delicious. Away is where you hang your hat. You should be hung up by your underwear. So why root for the away team when you can root for the home team with that great Pilsner taste of Miller Lite? For Bob's Proof Miller Lite. Taste Brewers and a brewing company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. Shark Tooth, Spirit Driver, the golf team from the golf trip that you never went off the gun. Team of the farm, Toasters, hotel. Let's not talk about the hotel. You know those players. Spark Club, Domino, House Game. There's lots of things you can use to open the new Miller Lite Punch Tubs. But you call me. Less club, however you punch it, it's Miller Tub. Shark Tooth, Screwdriver, Skeleton Teeth, Golf Teeth, and the golf trip that you never went off the gun. Or, let's be sure you say again. Sorry, chopsticks and voice on the Joe's and the hotel team. Let's not talk about the hotel team. Spark Plug, Domino, How these things make Miller Lite from a tan even better? Find out in May 2012. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
The Bluefish and the Long Island Ducks duking it out from Bethpage Ballpark. Long Island and Bridgeport seem to go in opposite directions at this point. With Bridgeport having struggled after Long Island had its fair share of struggles to open up the season. Greg Binnick moves forward. The Atlantic League's batting average leader from a year ago is hitting .283 entering today, and he looks at a first pitch strike from Gilbert De La Vara. Fastball, curveball, changeup from the southpaw. No balls and 1 strike to Binnick. He has a home run this year. Has been playing a lot of center field for the Ducks as the next pitch is inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The left fielder is Kennard Jones. Colin DeLome is over in center field. He's angled towards right center. And the right fielder, Prentice Redmond, is playing shallow. The 1-1 is swung on and whiffed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Long Island is led by their esteemed manager, Mr. Baez. Kevin Baez done an outstanding job with Long Island last year. Won both halves in the Atlantic League before losing in the Atlantic League Championship Series. The pitch is poked foul down the right side out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's Binnick, Ortiz, and Singh. Singh during that last set came close to hitting a few inside the Parkers, but he did come up with 1 as the fastball turns inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gilbert De La Vara, I had an opportunity to talk to him. Like many pitchers, does not like to walk anybody. Hates it. Never gave him a chance to really pitch whenever he walks people. The 2-2 is grounded towards short. Takes a nice hop for Rogers. He throws across in time as he used the weight to generate force from his back leg to the front foot. One away. A 6-3 put out for Binnick, and it brings up Roberto Ortiz. Roberto Ortiz was not getting much playing time earlier this year, even though he was a highly touted player. And now he's getting more playing time because Lou Ford is out. He went to the Baltimore Orioles organization. Ryan Garco moved as well to the Rays as the first pitch is inside. 1 ball and no strikes. So those 2 players go to American League East affiliates as the next one is swung on and whiffed. 1 ball and 1 strike. We'd like to thank everyone who's tuning in today. You can find the Bluefish game on BridgeportBluefish.com with the audio stream. Left-hander De La Vara stares in, lifts his leg, glove flares out, pitches line, base hit to the right side of second base. The first knock of the game for either side. It is a base hit for Ortiz. That sets up a runner at first base with 1 man out for Brandon Singh. Singh is a former member of the Bluefish, similar to the way that Jesse Horowitz was, similar to Dan Riker. Both part of that 2009 club, really. Seems like the 2009 team that's resurfaced in 2012. Riker obviously going to Taiwan. Brandon Singh, though, had other ideas last year. And if you think about it, Jesse Horowitz was also playing elsewhere as Singh steps up to the plate. Quite a few home runs as the next pitch is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Garco smacking the baseball in this league. He was a big power guy. And now Singh batting from the right side against the lefty Delavara. Lefty holds the ball at the shoulder and delivers the throw to first base, not in time. Singh this year done quite well with the power numbers. 6 home runs, multiple RBI, but only hitting like 232 on the year. Out of South Haven, Mississippi. As the next pitch is low. Denzel, 2 balls and no strikes. Each of the last 2 seasons played for the American Association with Sioux Falls and performed quite well in those limited seasons. He is back in the Atlantic League after the 2009 campaign, which he was raking 305. Fastball right down the middle, 2 balls and 1 strike. Plenty of fans towards the left side of the ballpark, many of them getting home from work, perhaps getting done with classes at this point, because it is late May baseball, close to Memorial Day weekend, as the 2-1 is to throw to first, not in time. The temperatures, they were very warm this winter, but they have not warmed up the way that one would expect for Memorial Day weekend. Usually it's hotter than this. The temperatures are expected to warm to the way that summertime feels, and I'm sure the baseball players would love that. The 2-1 is struck high in the air to right center field. Veering towards the alley is Colin DeLong, and the center fielder makes the catch for the second out of the frame. Brandon Singh with an at-bat. It brings up Mr. Esquivel, Matt Esquivel. Shares the same jersey uniform that the old Wayne Gretzky used to, number 99 on the back. And Wayne's future team, the LA Kings of 2012 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Both the player and the team have had success this year. Esquivel, 430. That's right, 435. Pitch slow on lifted foul to the right side. No balls and 1 strike. Esquivel has always been a great player for this organization. Esquivel has had some limited effects this year. Esquivel, 435, 10 hits and 23 ABs. Yo, 1 curveball, slings inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Third baseman is Luis Lopez. Eddie Rogers over at short. Pedro Lopez is at second. And Bob Peterson over at first. Luis Rodriguez, after missing a couple of days due to a hip flexor, is back behind the plate. Left to right in the outfield, Kennard Jones, Colin DeLong, Prentice Redmond. Rounds out the staff as the fastball tails away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Some of the better fan bases in the league belong to Lancaster, York, and Long Island. And they fill the stands with a drove of people. They led the Atlantic League in attendance for each of the last few years. 2-1, swung out and stroking to center field. DeLong has plenty of room to snag it on the line drive. Sometimes it's the most difficult play to make. But line drive right at you, Colin DeLong calmly makes the play for the final out of the inning. No runs on 1 base hit, 1 left on at the end of an inning. No score from Bethpage Ballpark. You're listening to 40 Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back.
Our buddy Tyler
Runs around the bases, beats Market like a partner when we keep on running around the bases. Tyler Singh going chronic here to the line. That's what they have. Great job, Tyler.
Bridgeport fans, tonight's clubhouse field is Monkey Box. Surrounding is Patty Pruitt, located at 20 North Research Place, the Home Depot Shopping Center, with a quarter-mile north of the ballpark, right here in Carl Avenue. The line of Atlantic Carruthers, the Bethpage Ballpark, providing tonight's clubhouse field as Carruthers and Patty Pruitt at 20 North Research Place, the Home Depot Shopping Plaza, with a quarter-mile north of Bethpage Ballpark.
Snappers Club is the newest membership card to show all of your friends. Plus, special is to serve every meal as a member
Number 8.
Bluefish baseball is back on the air. Perry Miles here. The Bluefish and the Ducks in game number 1 of this 4-game Memorial Day weekend set. This could be for first place. Bluefish 3.5 back as Esposito releases the pitch is bunted up the third base side by DeLome, but it trickles foul. No balls and 1 strike. Collin has been hot. He leads the Bluefish in batting average at a .358 clip. Has had 6 hits in each of the last, well, not 6 hits in each of the last, but 6 hits combined in the past 2 games. As the righty, Esposito deals to DeLome, and the fastball runs high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Plenty of fans enjoying themselves on this cloudy day from Bethpage Ballpark as the pitch is rocking it down the right field line, but kicks foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. DeLome always talks about opening up that front shoulder or leaving it closed to the last minute to be able to drive the baseball. Sometimes he'll pop it up anyhow or hit it a mile high and he just missed it. But he'd like to keep it close so that way he does not commit early. The fastball turns high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Willie Upshaw throughout his career as a ball player for more than a decade was always able to keep that shoulder closed as DeLome swings through and fouls it straight back. Count remains 2-2. And that's the idea. If left-handers are able to stay closed, follow through with the appropriate drive and not turn too much with the back foot, but able to really drive with the hips, you're in great shape as Esposito just misfired on the outside with what appeared to be a changeup, 3 balls and 2 strikes. DeLome leads the team in slugging percentage, extra base hits, home runs, almost every category. That time he walked as he takes off his equipment and moves over to first base. And he already represents a stolen base possibility for the Bluefish as Luis Lopez stands in for the road squad. Lopez at 250 this year, 15 RBI for the everyday third baseman. And depending on when Brett Dowdy comes back, Lopez is going to be in there quite some time. First pitch, fastball is outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Even with Dowdy in the lineup, perhaps Vasquez could take some of the reps at third, but then Luis Lopez would still be hitting because of his ability to pick up those critical RBI. Picks him up in great situations. The 1-0 with the runner leading. The pitch leans towards the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. The third baseman, Roberto Ortiz, playing about halfway back. Everyone else about 3/4 of the way back except for Sean Williams over at first. He's holding on the base runner who takes a modest lead. Right-hander is square with his shoulders pinned towards third. The runner goes. The pitch is long. No throw. Colin DeLome with a stolen base as there was no throw over to the bag. 2 balls and 1 strike. That is his 3rd steal of the year. He's only been caught once. And he represents the potential lead run for the Fish. This is an early game. Top of the 2nd inning, no score. Lopez stands tall. The 2-1. Swung on and chopped to the right side. Tough play for the first baseman Williams. He delivers to Esposito cutting, and he had to reach low just to grab the baseball. Lopez is out on a 3-1, a very wide 3-1. The first baseman Williams had to veer about halfway between first and second base bag just to get there. Circled around like an arc. Circle. Was able to deliver the ball low to Esposito, but fortunately for the pitcher, he was able to grab it. The runner is at third base after the ground ball. And it sets up Ramon Vasquez. Long fly ball scores the run, and the Ducks willing to concede the runner at third, especially toward the middle. They're backed up toward the outfield grass. 1-out pitch, swung on and lifted down the right field line. It is fair, it's a trouble. That ball, though, is foul, as that ball was smacked. Vasquez has been hitting with a little bit more authority of late. Hit a ball off the right center field wall in Somerset just a little more than a week ago. And that time he pulled it down the line. Plenty in this ballpark. Same dimensions or similar dimensions as the fastball turns high, as what the ballpark at Harbor Yard would feature. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 man out. No hits for the Fish to this point. 0-1. Struck high in the air to right field. Standing still and then charging forward is Reed Wright. He makes the pull and catch. The runner tags from third. The throw is not in time. Nice slide by DeLome. He went shoulder first as he avoided the tag from Josh Johnson. It was a great one-hop throw from the corner outfield to Reed Gurecki, but it was unable to get to the place that it needed to. It was slightly in front of the plate towards the left, and Johnson tried to swipe. He missed the tag. It leads to a sacrifice fly. The Bluefish have a 1-0 lead. Counts, sac fly, F9 if you're counting at home. Brings up Brock Peterson, who seems to be working a little bit out of his slide. First pitch slips to the middle, 0-1. 325 down the lines, 365 to the gaps, 405 to center. As the next pitch crosses around the corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. 400 feet to the left side of center, and the same 400 feet in right center field. Next pitch is a jam shot, sent foul, and ricochets dangerously into the seats. About 10 rows back on the second set of seats near the concourse. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There is a first set of seats, the concourse area, and then the second set of seats. And that's where it deflected. It was baseball pinball. The 1-2 is a fastball high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 out of 3 victories for the Ducks against Lancaster. They've been tearing it up in the Atlantic League with their offense and with their stout pitching of late. The 2-2 into deep left center field. On the move and unable to get there is Craig Biddick. That ball springs to the wall as the throw comes into second base, but out before Brock Peterson comes up with a 2-out double. And immediately Dan Lassard, the bus driver, grabs the equipment from Peterson that is necessary, grabbing the batting gloves from the first baseman. Runner in scoring position for the Fish with a 1-0 lead as Machete makes his way to the plate. Luis Rodriguez known more for his defensive prowess than his offensive excellence. He's at .217 on the year. A homer, few RBI. As the next pitch is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Rodriguez with 6 ribbies. But he's missed the last couple of games due to that hip flexor. He's hoping to continue to recover. The 1-0 is slapped down to the right side. 1 ball and no strike. A guy like him, he's a handyman, all right. Self-made carpenter, self-made chef. He can do just about anything, Rodriguez. not to mention play baseball, and he's done so since '91. Everywhere from winter leagues as curveball twists outside, 2 balls and a strike, to AAA baseball. '91, he was in rookie league. He's seen about everything, and he's led the pitching staff just as if he were the manager. The pitch is stroked into left field. It is a base hit. Rounding third and trying to score Peterson. The throw is up the third base line and gets beyond the catcher Josh Johnson, allowing Rodriguez to move to second base. And I believe that is going to be an RBI single for Rodriguez. The Bluefish have a 2-0 lead. Add on an error to that as well, most likely because of the throw that got away from the catcher. And believe the corner outfielder, Matt Esquivel, may be charged with that. We'll check out the scoreboard in a few moments to see if there was an error or if Luis Rodriguez advanced on the throw. It is ruled an E7. It was a line drive stroke for Rodriguez, which carried Esquivel towards the gap. He fired a one-hop throw up the third base side, about 15 feet away from the plate, and there was nothing that Josh Johnson could do. It trickled away. The 2-out pitch is a curveball on the outside corner, no balls and 1 strike. The Bluefish did not have much success at this venue last year, but the year before, it was a treat for them. The 0-1 is swung on and sent to the netting, no balls and 2 strikes. Bridgeport won that season series 14 games to 6 overall, and even swept the series in Long Island. That does not happen very often. The 0-2 swings outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Eddie Rogers moving forward, 2 homers and 10 RBI this season. Righty-righty matchup. Esposito releases and the pitch is bounced foul to the left side, 1 ball, 2 strikes. For as dominant as Esposito was in the first inning, that's how erratic he has been in the second. A walk always seems to hurt a team, especially the leadoff variety. And the Bluefish have scored 2 runs with a runner Rodriguez in scoring position. 1-2 is slapped toward the middle. It is a base hit. Rodriguez hustling around third, but he's going to be stopped by Willie Upshaw as the throw came in from Craig Binnick and cut off by the first baseman, Sean Williams, at the mound. Runners at the corners, the Bluefish have already collected 3 hits in the inning, and Bridgeport is hoping for number 4 as there's a conversation taking place between Williams, Josh Johnson, and the hurler, Joe Esposito. A meeting of the minds at the mound quickly for Long Island in this game. It took no more than an inning plus as the pitching coach, Steve Foucault, makes his way to the hill. He's a veteran pitching coach, one of the best ones in the business, as he continues to talk over matters with the right-hander and gives him a pat on the back. He makes his way back to the dugout after instilling some confidence in his right-hander. Many of the pitchers in this league have faced some excruciating circumstances. Talk about the likes of Isaac Hess with the way that he's had to overcome having his hip replaced at the age of 19. For those that have just simply struggled against the hitters in the Atlantic League, because these batters are some of the best that there ever were. And boy, if you look at the likes of Colin DeLome, you wonder how he only ever hit more than 2, or had ever hit less than 250 during the year. 2-out pitch, fastball inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Specifically looking at the statistics, Colin DeLome, likes of Kennard Jones. Some of these guys have had success in minor league baseball, but not necessarily AAA. 1-0 is both in the air to shallow left center field. Driving forward, and unable to make the play is Matt Esquivel. It is another RBI. This time a single, as the Bluefish now lead by a score of 3-0. Kennard Jones loops a single to left field. Boy, it has been a horrible inning for Esposito. There is no way to determine from this angle whether or not there is somebody warming up in the bullpen. First pitch is on the inside edge, no balls and one strike. The Ducks dugout is on the right side. The bullpen is beyond the right field wall. The Bluefish bullpen is beyond the left field wall. The next pitch surfaces outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Already a 3-0 game. Runs from Delhomme, Peterson, and Rodriguez. Eddie Rogers is on base as the next pitch is swung on and grounded towards the left side and through for another base hit. Coming to the plate, Eddie Rogers. He scores. Kennard Jones stays at second base. Another RBI single, this time by Pedro Lopez. The Bluefish extend the lead. It's 4-0. That ball was less hard hit than the other ones. That one appeared to be well away from the shortstop Dan Lyons, who sprawled towards the dirt to try to get there and was unable to flag it down. And it almost was as if the ball was hugging the grass until it reached the outfield. Just stuck there like glue. The 2-out pitch, Redmond sends it foul. All of these runs had been scored either with 1 or 2 outs. The sacrifice fly was with 1 out, which again for the second out. Bridgeport scored 3 runs since. The 0-1 to Redmond, fastball away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Redmond can either walk and hit by a pitch or earn a base hit to extend his on-base streak to 24. 1-1. Well inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. What appeared to be a breaking pitch. The Ducks playing Redmond more to pull. The shortstop Lions angled more towards third. 2-1. Lifted foul to the right side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A beautiful night is going to turn out to be at Bethpage Ballpark. Plenty of activities here, including the duck moon bounce over down the left side. Merry-go-round as always. 2-2. Well inside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Plenty of picnic facilities and plenty of area to have a picnic, but the Bluefish have been feasting on Long Island pitching from Joe Esposito in this frame. Already 4 runs on the board. 3-2, runners go. Pitch is swung on and popped high in the air to deep left center field, but playable as the corner outfielder Esquivel corrals it for the final out of the inning. The Bluefish send 9 batters to the plate in the second inning and score 4 times on 5 hits. They leave 2 runners on. End of an inning and a half. 4-0 Fish. You're listening to Perry Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back after these words from our local sponsors. Stay tuned.
It's not too late to join me and all of his friends by becoming a member of the Bluefish Snappers Club. The Snappers Club is the newest club for all the biggest Bluefish fans. As a member of the Snappers Club, not only get free entrance on the Snappers Club Day, but you also get a membership card to show all of your friends, plus a special t-shirt that will tell everyone you're a member of the club. These rewards members will also get invited onto the field to run the bases just like the Bluefish do. You'll receive a newsletter that will fill you in on all of your favorite Bluefish players, along with all the news that the Snappers Club has to offer. To join the course, look around, call 203-345-4800 or go to BridgeportBluefish.com/kids/snappers to become a member of the Snappers Club. Heard about the clubhouse. Private instruction, camps, teachers, rentals, investment, chance to learn from the
Lady of the one on the Dutch show, second base, number 16, Ray Navarrete, number 16.
Bluefish baseball is back on the air. Perry Miles here. The Bluefish have a 4-0 lead. Gilbert De La Vara heads to the hill. Try to preserve that margin. The first pitch is right on the outside corner. No balls and one strike. Nobody out on half of the second inning. And the first batter is Ray Navarrete. The 1 on its way. Swung on missed. An excellent floater from De La Vara. No balls and 2 strikes. Navarrete, Sean Williams, and Reed Varecki due up for Long Island in this inning. And assuming that it gets any further, it would be Josh Johnson. The 0-2 is skied in the air to shallow left field. Kennard Jones racing in and calls Eddie Rogers out of the way to make the catch to avoid the collision and record the out in the process. 1 away. It's an F7 on the score sheet. Brings up Sean Williams.
Sean Williams, number 11.
The first baseman stands tall. 400 on the year, 10 ribbies and 2 homers. This LI Ducks squad has been one of the better offensive teams. That bunt attempt is pulled up the third base side, but it veers foul. More of a slug bunt than anything else. As Luis Lopez saw the speed and the spinning action of the ball, he decided to let it go foul. It was an intelligent call by Lopez because it veered in the positive direction for the Bluefish rather than having to deal with a runner at first. Long Island owns a .297 batting average at the early stages of the season for 25 contests, and that accounts for 159 runs. They have outscored every team in this league by a margin of 21. That's the differential between the Ducks and the rest of the organizations. The 0-1 is swung on and missed as De La Vara pulled the string. No balls, 2 strikes. The Bluefish at 267, and they have the second highest scoring team in the league as the pitch is planted low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'd like to thank everybody for tuning in out there. The Bluefish broadcast. Perry Miles here. De La Vara seriously from signing one more time. The 1-2. Curveball grounded towards second. No movement for the duck low as Pedro Lopez grabbed the baseball and threw it to first. 2 away. 4-3. Well, really, all Pedro Lopez needed to do was go flex his knee a little bit, stick the ball down, and then throw off his back leg. He really did not move a whole lot. That's the idea of the scouting reports, to understand the tendencies of where batters are going to place the ball. And sometimes it allows a better understanding for the fielders and also a better opportunity to record those outs rather than give up hits in places where the fielders are not. 2-out pitches, stroked foul down the right side. Peterson hustling after it, but he's not getting there. That's in the concourse area before landing in the second set of seats well down the right field line. No balls and 1 strike. So many analysts, so many predictions about where hitters' tendencies or where hitters would hit the balls. The 0-1 is inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. But Willie Upshaw's concept is simple. Hit the ball where it's pitched inside, try to pull. As the next one is chopped in the ground foul, 1 ball, 2 strikes. If it's towards the middle of the plate, try to drive it to center field. If it's toward the outside corner, try to drive it to right field. For your average hitter, for your better hitters, perhaps you hit the ball much harder when you try to pull it. Upshaw and Gaietti's concept is a curveball just misfired on the outside. Maybe a tad high as well. 2-2. Today, the Bluefish and the Ducks start a 4-game series. Matt Hensel is behind home plate as the pitch is ground over to short. Shuffling a couple of steps to his left is Rogers, and he plays it the first in time. Taylor De La Vara has his first 1-2-3 inning and his second scoreless inning of the night. The Bluefish lead by a score of 4-0 at the end of 2. You're listening to Perry Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back.
It's his birthday as well. We're the same age. He turns 29 today. Happy birthday to all these guys in the count of 3. We're going to sing happy birthday to them. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Austin, Thomas, Brandon, Will, and David. Happy birthday to you. Let's give one more time. Happy birthday, guys. Welcome back to Johnson Austin Television Show. Happy birthday. The rest of the birthday is going to for you. And you. Take a look up there. I got a long Island message for today that is celebrating with us this evening. For all of us here at the Long Island Action Marvel, have a very happy birthday. Cracker Jack is already following birthday parties up there for the Witching area, so we can have some pizza and Marvel birthday ice cream. Let's go, guys. Baseball fans, if you don't have the baseball cap that you received tonight on a paper release in the ballpark signed by Coach Buddy Hamilton, why don't you sign one of our options on the main concourse behind the plate the rest of the lot, so invite you your baseball caps on or your baseball jacket or any other item. Coach Buddy Hamilton is on the main concourse right behind home plate, signing autographs for everybody here in John.
The Bluefish provided the punch in the first inning of the game with the pitching that Gilbert De La Vara provided. Followed up the top half of the second inning by scoring 4 times and putting themselves ahead by a score of 4-0. First batter due up is the guy that started the rally with a walk in Colin DeLone. Walk scored the run in the second inning as Joe Esposito makes his way to the mound for another inning of work. The first pitch is on its way as Esposito closes the ball on the glove. The first pitch is right on the outside corner. Snap call. No balls and 1 strike to Matt Hensel. Chase Edmondson is over first base. Matt Beaver at third as the pitch is rocketed into deep right field. No chance for Reed Gorecki. That ball is gone. Colin DeLone spanks a solo shot towards right field. The Bluefish have increased their lead. It is 5-0. That is home run number 5 on the year. He continues to tear up opposing pitchers. And the corner outfielder and down to center fielder makes his way around the bases. 5-0 Fish to set up Luis Lopez. That was a big shot on the inside corner as Esposito deals to Lopez. A curveball bends low. 1 ball and no strikes. That was well beyond the NSPC.com sign in right center. May have even went over the Geico sign in right as well as the next pitch is low. 2 balls and no strikes. And there is plenty of forest around the ballpark. So many trees in the area, it's very difficult to tell where it is. The next pitch floats to the outside corner, 2-1. Had an opportunity to talk to Terry McGriff today about where he liked playing best during his playing career. And he said Nashua and Long Island as the pitches lifted high in the air to left center field, tracking it down towards left center, and making the play is the center fielder, Greg Vinnick. F8 accounts for out number 1 in the Bridgeport part of the third. The reason he said Nashua and Long Island, other than Bridgeport, is because of the scenery. it was a beautiful scenery, and there would be an easy time finding the baseball, whether it be at the plate as a catcher or at the plate as a hitter. And every time that you're helped out, first pitch fastball's on the outside corner, no balls, one strike. Whenever there was a great background hit, maybe a green with the white standing out, with the white baseball, it would be great. The 0-1 is lifted to the netting foul, no balls and 2 strikes. Sometimes the baseball can blend in with the lights like it has in Bridgeport. Sometimes it can blend in with the fog. The Bluefish have had all kinds of weather-related issues, none whatsoever to this point today. The 0-2 is slapped above the head of Dan Lyons as he left for the next spot. It's another base hit for Ramon Vasquez and the Fish. He picks up his first, but for Bridgeport, it is hit number 7. Esposito getting smacked around today. That ball was a laser to left center field as Vasquez, compact swing right through and deposited to the alley. With 1 away, Peterson moves forward and he seems to be getting his groove back. Already has a double today and he has scored a run. Bridgeport already with 5 on the board. The 1-out pitch is batted sharply through the third base side. It is a base hit between short and third. Ball carried by Escobar as he throws it to Dan Lyons on the relay to third. 1 man out. Runners at first and second. Bridgeport continues its assault on Esposito, and that prompts Kevin Baez, the manager, to emerge from the Ducks dugout. You wonder if that might be all, and he quickly indicates with his right hand a call to the bullpen. This call to the bullpen, presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for an hour and 3 minutes. 8 minutes allowed by Esposito to 2, and a third innings. His night is over. When we come back, we will talk about the new pitcher on the hill for Long Island. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on the Bluefish Broadcast Network. We'll be right back.
Is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out.
Now he's another one of the girls we say, oh, it's not going to short order. That's that clear. Here's the order of tonight's game sponsor, the Bethpage Manufacturing Company.
That's why each year, charitable events is targeted by Kitchen Bridgeport Associates and by Prudential Annuities to help understand volunteer from conducting veteran programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting this effort. Prudential Annuities is a marketing company. We're big with Prudential Annuities. Going to that. Prudential Insurance Company, American New Jersey, is affiliates of Prudential Annuities Business and Prudential Financial. This is Jerry McGrath, pitching coach for the Bridgeport Bluefish, and you're listening to Barry Miles on the Bluefish Program.
This may be the time for the Bluefish to break this game even more open than what it is right now. And they will have to do it against number 50, Connor Graham. This goes to the bullpen, presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. Connor Graham, this season, only with 1 record and ERA quite high. Graham, a right-handed pitcher and a left-handed on. Rob Peterson, or rather Louis Rodriguez, Eddie Rogers, and Kennard Jones. Of course, assuming that anyone else gets on base, Louis Rodriguez has already singled, scored a run, and the Bluefish are hoping to get more out of this inning than just the 1. They already have collected 8 hits tonight, and their offense is broken out against the Ducks at Bethpage Ballpark. The 1-out pitch from Connor Graham slides to the outside corner, no balls and 1 strike. Graham this season has a 6.60 ERA, 11 games, 15 innings, and a 273 opponent's batting average. The 0-1, fastball inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Probably means either he gives up a great deal of home runs, which according to this line he does not, or he walks a ton of batters. He has walked more batters than he has completed innings. 16 and 15, the 1-1 drops low to the dirt. Scampered after by Johnson. He's able to keep Ramon Vasquez at second. Brock Peterson is over at first. A 2-ball, 1 strike offering on its way in the bottom half of inning 3 from the Duck Pond at Bethpage Ballpark. Bridgeport hoping to go 4 for 4 against Long Island in the early going. The 2-1. Fastball inside. 3-1. Graham does not want to give up the walk to Louis Rodriguez, even though he does have a hit today. 220 after that base knock. And Eddie Rogers has been a really good hitter for most of the year. The 3-1 is chopped over to third. Handled by Roberto Ortiz. Flips the second one on to first. Double play. That ends the inning with a 5-4-3. Conor Graham avoids little trouble, but not before Colin Noel serves a solo drive to right field. The Bluefish are ahead by a count of 5-0. Listen to Larry Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back after this.
Just like the Bluefish.
The Bluefish have stormed the Duck Pond, and as a result, Bridgeport has a 5-run lead heading into the bottom half of the third inning. Josh Johnson moves ahead as Gilbert De La Vara sends it right down the middle. No balls and 1 strike. Another fastball from Gil, and most of the time that he's been successful, it's been 70% fastball. That one was not a fastball. It was whiffed on what appeared to be a curve or a change. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 from the lefty. Swung and missed. Tied him up again. Gilbert De La Vara with the strikeout of Johnson. It is his first punch out of the day. And it sends Dan Lyons to the plate. Lyons was no shortstop on this squad last year. A team that did quite well in 2011. The team finished with a 78-47 record, including a 12-6 mark against the Fish. 0-1 out toss. Line base hit into left field. Second hit of the night As Lyons reaches first, Bernard Jones flips the ball in to the second baseman, Pedro Lopez. And with a runner at first base, it sends Craig Biddick to the dish. Long Island certainly capable of getting back into this contest because of their offensive productivity. Bennett out of Old Westbury, New York, so he is a local product. As the first pitch he stares at, and it's called a strike. 0-1. He was drafted by the Baltimore Orioles in the 27th round in 2007. Made his way as high as Double-A baseball with the Bowie Bay Sox, the Orioles affiliate. And one player that played in the Orioles organization recently is Jody Gathright, as Biddick serves a high, shallow fly to the right side, where Pedro Lopez makes the play on the lip of the outfield grass. 2 retired in the third for Long Island. That brings up the little Ortiz. Gathright back in 2008-2009 was over all times. Now the AAA affiliate of the Orioles, and back then they had made the affiliation switch when the Mets were going through rapid change, where they moved their affiliate from Norfolk to New Orleans. Now it is in Buffalo, as the first pitch slides inside 1 ball and no strikes. Ortiz accounts for the only other hit on the day for the Ducks. The second one represented by Dan Lyons at first. But pitch swerves inside 2 balls and no strikes. Roberto Ortiz earlier in the year was not getting a whole lot of playing time, but because of the changes, Ortiz has been implemented into the lineup. Not quite the same impact that Luke Ford or Ryan Garcon was. And over the course of the year, Atlantic League teams will lose talent. Look at who the Bluefish have lost this year. The 2-0 is chopped over to third and could not be grabbed by Lopez as he lunged for it. It was going to be a tough play either way. We will see what the ruling is on the scoreboard. The degree of difficulty allows for that ball to be ruled as an infield single toward third base. As Brandon Singh moves forward, first real trouble brewing for Gilbert Villamar. He did have a runner in scoring position in the first inning, but he was able to avert trouble. And this inning, first time that he's had 2 base runners on base. Brandon Singh moves forward. Singh, one of the players that has provided a ton of pop for this team. Quite a bit of success in his past, just not nearly as much this year. The talent pool has increased tremendously in this league as the fastball turns outside the ball. Singh's in the last series had a grand slam and was 4 for 13 in that set. Plenty of power from the right-handed hitters. He stands with an open stance. The 1-0. Fastball travels outside. 2 balls, no strikes. One swing of the bat brings Long Island back into this contest. It is 5-0 Fish. De La Vara has allowed 3 hits for the first 2 2/3. Gill looks back, fires forward, fastball, guided low and away, 3-0. If Singh reaches, it is Matt Esquivel going to take his turn at the plate. The Bluefish angle more towards left center field, especially the lull as the next pitch drops long ball 4. The bases are loaded on 2 singles and 1 walk to settle Matt Esquivel at the plate. Esquivel flew out to center field in his at-bat, perhaps. De La Vara pitching around, knowing the kind of power that Singh has compared with the power that Esquivel is able to possess and use on a day-to-day basis. Esquivel is a good hitter. He's not quite what Brandon Singh is in terms of power, as the pitch is a change-up over the outside corner, then toward the knee. No balls, 1 strike. 4 straight out of the zone from De La Vara. Fired one over. More of a cat and mouse game with Esquivel. De La Vara's 0-1. Fastball inside. A knee-jerk reaction from Esquivel. Literally. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sometimes the baseball will buckle and catch the batter out of position. The 1-1 from De La Vara. Pitch swung and missed. Power fastball. On the outer third, about belt high. Maybe a little bit higher than that. 1 ball and 2 strikes. First pitch was outside corner knees. Second pitch fastball inside corner. Third pitch fastball upstairs. What quadrant of the plate will De La Vara explore on the 1-2? Outside corner, it's 3 minutes left on. And on the 3. The Bluefish still have a 5-0 lead. You're listening to Perry Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be back.
It's the right app to find the closest protection. Or maybe you're just looking for something to do on a Friday night. Well, for something like people search it out. So go to Riley.com right now. Yeah, just search level, find it, and save it.
That was crazy to my left. And Alabama talking to the side of their ball. We put it in for one. Was it Lewis to my right? Or was it Grayson to my left? It is close to the quick. Grayson is going to be our winner. We know Lewis is not going on that we had to take no prize from the Irish Coffee Cup as well. Let's give her one more extra down the outfield. It's right next door to the water tower. It's 11 left room traction here for car, so make sure it's straight out. Once again, it's right on the next door, right by the water tower, and create your window, all to that building. And while you're up there, check out the water tower, all the $2,000 going on the trucks, silver arrows, and everything.
Eddie Rogers moves in for the Fish to start out the top half of the 4th inning. We will have a trivia question today, courtesy of BridgeportBluefish.com. As Rogers picked up a single in his low at bat today, Bridgeport with a 5-0 lead to start off, and I'm sure that many other teams playing tonight, the other 6 in the Atlantic League, in action for sure. The first pitch rotates outside, 1 ball and no strikes, and perhaps the most improved team after a rocky start, the Sugarland Skeeters. The 1-0 is grounded sharply foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. A pull job by Eddie Rogers, and entering today, Sugarland going to be playing the Lancaster Barnstormers from Houston, Texas. And it has yet to begin, but Southern Maryland trails York 3-2, which is good news for the Bluefish after what unfolded yesterday. Bridgeport just could not score against the Blue Crab staff as the next pitch is swung on and popped up to the right side of the infield. Troy Williams pulls it ready off, and even waves off the pitcher for out number 1. It is Graham Carter remaining on the hill for the home team. With P3 sets Kennard Jones into motion. He steps up to the plate. And the only other game today, the Camden River Sharks took down the Somerset Patriots by a score of 4-3, which means that with a Sugarland victory, they'll be within 2 games of the Barnstormers, or rather 1.5 games of the Barnstormers, because they are playing each other tonight. The 1-out pitch, fastball over the middle, no balls, 1 strike. Butch Hobson has control over baseball operations when it comes down to Sugarland, Southern Maryland, York, and Lancaster. Camden has one of their own. The pitch is dribbled foul to the right side. No balls, 2 strikes. Jeff Scott is in charge of the baseball operation there. Bob Vaughn, the general manager for the Bluefish. Mike Pfaff in charge for the Long Island Ducks. In the summer, the Patriots, Mr. McBerry was in charge of the general manager duties. I'm sure Sparky Lyle was the director of the baseball ops. The 0-2 swung on it. Bernard Jones strikes out for the first time tonight. It was a wicked curveball for Connor Graham. Pedro Lopez moves forward. In these 4-game series, it would be expected for a split of the 4 games to happen. A 2-out toss, a fastball on the outside corner, no balls, 1 strike. Considering that the talent level is relatively equal, and also considering that the pitching level of many of these players is also somewhat equal. The 0-1, dribbled foul to the backstop, no balls, 2 strikes. All of these players are professional athletes, one way or another, received the break to get to Big League Baseball or on the way to try to get back up. Some of them have played independent baseball for the rest of their lives or in their entire lives. They're hoping to get into affiliated baseball. As Graham deals 0-2, swung on it, missed, strike 3. There are so many other circumstances for players to go here, and it's expected that Long Island and Bridgeport are going to be competitive. They always seem to put their best on the field when they're competing against each other. 3.5 in the books. 5-0 Fish on top of the Ducks. You're listening to Perry Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back.
Just waiting for Brendan to get here. Alright, we got Brendan from Huntington Station. Come back here, Brendan. And basically, Brendan, what you're going to have to do is clean out the box number 1, box number 2, or box number 3 by the Dr. Jack, and you'll take home a GPS courtesy of PC Richard's son. Which box do you think it is? 1, 2, or 3? Finish, you want to help him out? 1, 2, or 3? Alright, Brendan, what's it going to be? 1! Alright, he's going to go with box number 1 down here, but let's take a look at number 2 in the middle. And there is that GPS or PC Richard's son, but it's okay. Come down box number 2, this is what Dr. Jack has gone for. And we've got a cordless phone set here in box number 3. And now the box that you picked, Brendan, in box number 1 we have building blocks. Congratulations, Brendan, for taking over building blocks. And thank you for playing the piece of Richard in front of what's in the box. Your electronic TV computer machine. One up, second baseman, number 16, Ray Navarrete, number 16.
Bluefish baseball is back. Bottom half of the 4th inning. The trivia question is coming up. The first pitch on its way from Gilbert De La Barra. The first pitch is a fastball outside. 1 ball and no strikes. The trivia question for today is which member of the Long Island Ducks had the lowest earned run average against the Bluefish with a minimum of 6 games last year against Bridgeport. As the next pitch finds the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. 6 games minimum. Who had the lowest ERA for the Long Island Ducks against the Bluefish? The next pitch is served in the center field. The long moved forward, drifted back, made the play for out number 1. Ray Navarrete swallowed the baseball, but did not find much space between the ball and where the ball was. If it's hit anywhere else, the ball was probably chasing it down for extra bases from Navarrete. Instead, Sean Williams makes his way to his workspace in the right-handed hitter's batter's box. No 1-out toss from De La Barra swung on and missed. No balls and 1 strike. Pulled the string from De La Barra. He has an outstanding curveball and changeup. He'll throw those pitches for strikes, but then he'll also use them as what appear to be waste pitches as the 0-1 is outside. Low, 1 ball and 1 strike. And a perfect example of a waste pitch is 3 to 6 inches off the outside corner, 3 to 6 inches off the inside corner, tight enough to where the batter has to think twice. 1 run is inside, 2 balls and a strike. And when Matt Pike was talking about making a hitter think twice, the hitter thinks twice rather than reacting. There's a little bit more hesitation and more of a capability of the batter either striking out or grounding out as the pitch is stroked into the right side of the infield for a base hit as it drifted to Prentice Redmond in the corner outfield slot. Pedro Lopez was playing more towards the middle than he normally does because of the right-handed hitting. Sean Williams deposited into the right side, all the way from the second baseman. And it sends Reed Gorecki to the dish. Gorecki is a former big leaguer, the son of a gym teacher out in Queens, New York, out of the alma mater of yours truly, Cardozo High School. The 1-out toss, curveball, low, 1 ball and no strikes. 5 runs, 8 base hits, no runs, 4 base hits, 1 error. The Bluefish maintaining a 5-run lead since inning 3. Are they able to maintain the margin? Or will the flock begin to attack? 1 ball and no strikes. Guevara stares in, stalls, delivers, fastball on the outside corner. It has been almost every time Guevara getting ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 0-2. To be able to record the outs. 4-1. Fastball inside, 2-1. Long Island won on Wednesday by a score of 10-5. And much of it was off of J.D. Durbin as the pitch of a broken back grounder to short. Rogers flips the second, that's all they'll get. A decent takeout slide from Sean Williams as he tried to barrel into Pedro Lopez. Fortunately for the second baseman, he was able to skip out of the way. About a quarter of a second before he was barreled into. The save on the fielder's choice, 6-4. George Johnson moves in. A strikeout victim in inning 3. He was the catcher for the Road Warriors last year. The fastball rotates to the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Not to mention, Johnson's reached AAA baseball. He was in spring training this past year. The next pitch is off the corner inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Any catcher that can hit will definitely make it to AAA baseball or even the major leagues. Considering that most of them can call a very good game as the curveball swung on and there's 1 ball, 2 strikes at the minor league level, that is. Once you get to the major leagues, it's a completely different story. It's all about communication and, of course, the intensity level of how hard the fastball is coming in. The pitch is roped foul to the left side, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The players may react the same, but deep down, many of them understand that some of the big leaguers were provided opportunities that others did not get. Sometimes it's the hand that you delivers. The fastball's high to throw to second. It's high. They got him. That's the first time this season that Luis Rodriguez has thrown somebody out at second base, and he is lauded by Dan Lassard and the rest of the Bluefish dugout. No runs on 1 base hit. Josh Johnson will bat first in his team's half of the 5th inning, but the Bluefish will come up before that. The game is still 5-0 Bluefish. You're listening to Perry Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back.
We want to thank the audience for being here this evening. The viewers should bring it through to that part. Please stop by the Country USA College PTS booth on the Bethpage behind her plate. For more information, thank you for being with the Bethpage Ballpark. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for all up there to the studio board for the race. Tonight's testing is number 706. Round number 729 in the area called Bethpage Ballpark. And now the 16 caliber. For some reason, Lucas cannot get his car the hand of his car. And players select level to make the workshop in the Islip, providing this year's first box field, the Georgia Ideal location, the intersection of Carl Avenue and Sunrise Highway in East Islip, and it's a great gathering place before and after the Elementary baseball game. That's the workshop field, intersection of Carl Avenue and Sunrise Highway in East Islip. Make sure when you go there, you say hi to the New Jersey. Back to the Bridgeport Bluefish, right, blue number 27, Precious Redmond, number 47.
Bluefish baseball is back. Top of the 5th inning from Bethpage Ballpark. Bridgeport has a 5-0 lead as Prentice Redmond takes an inside corner offering. No balls and 1 strike. Prentice Redmond has a 23-game on-base streak on the line today. As he stands in the 0-1 from Connor Graham, lands outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. With the Orioles signing Move Ford and Ryan Barco not in the lineup, the Ducks lineup is somewhat depleted. The 1-1 settles low, 2 balls, 1 strike. John Rodriguez playing elsewhere. A few others not with the Ducks at this point, maybe in Mexico or other areas of the world, participating in baseball, making a decent living at it. The 2-1 is a fastball low. Again, 3 balls and 1 strike. And the objective is for any team to notice these players. Scouts go to every game for Major League Baseball. There have even been some Japanese scouts coming to the ballpark. 3-1 fastball inside ball 4. And Prentice Redmond has extended his on-base streak to 24 straight with that walk. A runner at first base, nobody out, and sets up Colin Malone. Will the Bluefish bunt here? Probably not. 5-run lead. Delhomme, as hot as he is. Righty-lefty situation. Connor Graham set. The first pitch to Delhomme sinks outside. 1 ball and no strikes. The ballpark at Harbor Yard, the site, the Bluefish and the Ducks in the top half of the 5th inning. Johnson sets up outside. Graham deals well away. 2 balls and no strikes. Plenty of fans at the ballpark for a Thursday night affair. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are expected to be packed. 2-0. Chopped into the ground towards second. Handling on the scoop. Was right never end. He flipped the second and throw to first. Not in time. Fielder's choice on the 4-6 as Delhomme is saved for first. Redmond is eliminated at second base. It brings up Ramon Vasquez. Take a quick glance at relative comparison. Where the Bluefish stand in terms of their pitching staff relative to the rest of the league. The Bluefish ERA is ranked 6th in the ALPB with an ERA of less than 5, 4.94. Bridgeport has already scored 5 runs. One more may be all they need to put the Ducks down for tonight, though. One out pitches in there for a strike for a second, not nearly in time. Another stolen base for Colin DeLome, his second of the game and his 4th of the year. He swiped second, and we'll see if he tries to go after third base, even though it is a right-handed pitcher with his head facing the second base bag and his face projecting towards the plate. Looks back and forth at second. Graham deals 0-1. Baltimore chopped to third. Handled by Ortiz. The long deliveries in time. Great throw from Wilberto. A 5-3. 2 count for out number 2. This rivalry has always been fun. Plenty of fans, plenty of animosity between the fans. Plethora of Ducks fans making it down to the ballpark in Harbor Yard, and others from Bridgeport making it all the way over here, even though they are owned by the same organization, Pastime Partners. Opening day partners owns 5 of the other 6 ball clubs. 2 out tosses inside, 1 ball and no strikes. With Pastime Partners, the opening day partners took over the 5th franchise last year from the Camden River Show. The 1-0. Establishing outside Johnson. The pitch is slapped down left field line. Chasing after it is Roberto Ortiz, and he makes the backhanded grab right near the first row of seats as the Ducks have retired the Bluefish in the 5th. No runs, no hits. However, has been stranded at the end of the 5th. It is still 5-0 Bridgeport. You're listening to Terry Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back with these words from our local sponsor.
Back to where they started. The first person back to me is Tamara Price, courtesy of AAA New York. All right, guys, on your mark, get set, go! Looks pretty even from around the first turn. Let's give me power with the ring. College take over by the courtesy of AAA New York. That's the AAA New York Potato Sack Race. Run reason for love, AAA. Hey, boys and girls, tonight, Bethpage Ballpark is Claire Fitz. Claire Fitz, congratulations on the love of the Ducks. Dressed up by the Department of State College Ticket Kiosk Group, and pick up your Bucking Ducks autograph baseball. Now, boys and girls, for more information on your smart parking lot, remember a Bethpage Kids Club, stop by the Department of State College Ticket Kiosk Group, on the main control page, Hollywood Place, and you have a big winner who's like Claire Fitz did tonight. Claire, congratulations for Bethpage for the Bridgeport and the Long Island Ducks. Well, good night, fans. In the Bridgeport Bluefish, we do our game fortnight. We kick off the Memorial Day weekend and taking the game to the games at 7:05. And we're 2,000 fans to the game of the ballpark. Tomorrow evening, you'll receive a Long Island Ducks jersey feature. Make sure you get early to get your Long Island future. That's the first 2,000 fans tomorrow night. Tickets for the tomorrow night game, all games on the 2012 table are available at Long Island Ducks Farmingdale State College. Ticket kiosk on the main counter right behind the hotel. That'll be Long Island Ducks.
Josh Johnson leads off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Ducks. The Bluefish silencing the flock at this point is 5-0. As De La Vara deals, the pitch is swung on and left in the deep left field. Going back is Jones. He turns around. That ball is gone. Solo drive for Josh Johnson. First pitch with a high fastball, and Johnson turns it around. The Bluefish lead has been trimmed. It's now 5-1. For the Bluefish, it is a solo shot. Fortunately for them, no one on base. And the players will live with the solo shots if that's all they allow. Solo shots will not hurt you. It's with runners on base that will destroy confidence and reputation. With nobody out there, Lyons moves forward and he takes the pitch low, 1 ball and no strikes. Johnson seems to have had the best swings on this Long Island team against the Bridgeport squad. We know he struck out in his first at-bat. The next pitch is on the outside corner. That was the 1 ball and 1 strike. Johnson collects. Home run, number 2, as the pitch is stroked to the deep left center field. Bernard Jones racing back and makes the play on the warning track for the first out. Dan Lyons sent it a long way as well. Look out to the F7 here. Crap off the bat. Johnson home run number 2, RBI number 5 on the year for Johnson. He's not among the league leaders in that category. He was brought over to at least match what J.R. House provided defensively. The floater lands low, 1 ball, no strikes. Defensively, J.R. House was very good last year. Let's not forget about his offensive productivity, which Johnson cannot match at this point. The 1-0 drifts outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Must be rather difficult to travel all the time. Greg Binnick playing all the time. Double A before Davey Landry. Pitches ground over towards short, handled by Eddie Rogers, and he's placed to first in time. 2 away. Of course, Binnick was in the Atlantic League for his first season last year. Ortiz with 5'10", infielder out of the Puerto Rican Commonwealth, as the first pitch is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. He was beginning his season in 2011 with Double-A Chattanooga. The pitch settles low, 2-0. He was promoted to Albuquerque on the Pacific Coast League before being reassigned to Rancho Cucamonga. The 2-0 is on the inside corner here. 2 balls and 1 strike. Working his way to AAA Albuquerque. That's as high as he's gone. His fastball misfired inside. 3 balls and a strike. Most home runs that Ortiz ever hit. Cedar Rapids in the Midwest League back in 07. 3-1 is outside ball 4. And Roberto Ortiz has been working his way on base almost every time Brandon Singh moves forward. Conversation about getting placement between Louis Rodriguez and Gilbert Villalaro. The southpaw understands how to pitch the baseball. But Louis Rodriguez has had even more experience than Villalaro has in pro baseball. By the way, that was walk number 2 on the day, surrendered by Villalaro. And between those 2 players, they would like to get the rhythm correct and also the pitch sequence accurate. The 2-out toss, popped up foul to the right, no balls and no strike. One player who's a signal caller who's unable to successfully make it back is Michael Morris. He tried it out and opted to retire this past week. So Michael Morris done for his career after trying to rehab from shoulder surgery. The 0-1. Curveball ground to third, handled the high hop Lopez, and he throws the short way to land a 5-4 fielder's choice and end the inning. But a run does score for Long Island on a Josh Johnson drive to left field. The Bluefish now up by a score of 5-1. Listening to Terry Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back.
Biggest more realistic fish fans. As a member of the Snappers Club, allowing play entry for the Snappers Club. You also get a membership card to show all of your friends. Plus a special t-shirt that will know everyone you are a member of the club. These small funds members will also be invited on the field to let the fishes just like the Bluefish do. You receive a newsletter to the unit or all your favorite Bluefish players or all the news that rentals, investing, chance to tons of ways to get involved. In-game poses, giveaways, fish and video formats, radio spots, and much more. If the economy is sinking your business, it's time to get swimming with the Bluefish. Join the Bluefish Fish now. Then you put all the sales representatives and two of them.
This Saturday night, and the one who's going to come to Bridgeport Bluefish once again. Game number 705, Saturday night, Bluefish Fireworks. We
welcome you back to the Bluefish broadcast. Terry Miles here. This call to the bullpen, presented by Prudential Annuity. Prudential Annuity, going to bat for our community. As the first pitch is on its way, it's a fastball tucked inside, 1 ball and no strikes to Brock Peterson. Peterson is followed in the order by Lee Rodriguez. Eddie runs, the pitch is lifted high in the air, deep left center field. On the move, Big. He tries to track it down, but is unable to do so. He has to find it at the warning track. Brock Peterson scampering around second, but stops at the base. It is a leadoff double for Brock. And the Bluefish, Brock with 3 hits tonight, including 2 extra base knocks. That brings up Louis Rodriguez. At this point, does Louis give himself up to try to score the 6th run of the night? And would therefore push the lead back to 5 if the run were to score. And let's not forget about this one. It would take more than 1 swing of the bat or more than 1 grand slam. Tie the game. Rodriguez stares at a fastball inside, 1 ball, no strike. No bunt signal given by Upshaw. And many of the players, as far as the signals go, are on their own. And 1-0. Chucks low, 2 balls and no strikes. Eddie Rogers is waiting on deck. Number 37, Dan Meyer, who started out the season in the starting rotation and actually did fairly well. It's a bloop, and the pitch is ripped down the left field line, but it veers foul. 2 balls and 1 strike. Dan Meyer did not believe he is expected to start in the series for the Long Island Ducks. Meyer waits. Lifts his leg and there's a 2-1. Aye, geez, swung on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Joe Esposito tonight. Gustavo Chassin, the former Toronto Blue Jay, tomorrow. Bob Zimmerman, the former York Revolution current Long Island Duck. And Randy Kiesler, 2 lefties, 2 righties in the series. Bridgeport throwing 3 lefties at the Ducks. And tonight, Stellamara has been highly successful. The fastball runs inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The runner at second base, Brock Peterson, has slightly above average speed over at second before he drifts back and makes his way off the bag one more time. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Glove and ball, same place, left side, 3-2. Way upstairs, ball for Rodriguez side. Vera out of the strike zone, and it may have even slipped from Dan Meyer. 6'2", 225 pounds, and he's reached Major League Baseball in his career. Meyer lost a little bit of command against Rodriguez, a hitter that's only taking about a 220 clip at this point as Eddie Rogers steps up. The Bluefish will have one more trip to the Bethpage Ballpark after this series. It will take place in early June. The Bluefish and Ducks will convene for the final time in the first half. During that road stretch, the pitch is popped up to the right side. Josh Johnson skips over and makes the play. They foul ground. And it appears as if Brock Peterson is tempting Johnson to not pay attention to it. TF2 on the score sheet. Brings up Kennard Jones. One more series, June the 5th through the 7th at this venue. All 6:35 tilts. The last time that these 2 teams will play all season, all regular season, is August the 3rd through the 5th. It's the final time that these 2 teams will play. First pitch rotates outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Bridgeport Long Island Tango the 13th through the 15th at the ballpark in Harbor Yard, game 26th through the 29th weekend in Bridgeport in July. As the 1-0 is on the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. On that out and 5-1 score. 5 runs, 9 base hits, no errors. 1 run, 5 base hits, and 1 error. Next pitch is stroked into left field, and a grab by the corner outfielder Matt Escobar as he nearly went to a knee and was fooling him by the knuckling action of the baseball moving from side to side. But he was able to corral it. Sets up Pedro Lopez after the F7. Bluefish got both base runners on to lead off the inning. But Brock Peterson is still at second base. And Luis Rodriguez positioned over at first. The 2-out toss to Lopez is right over the middle. No balls and 1 strike. For more information about Bluefish Baseball, you can go to the website, bridgeportbluefish.com. Or you can follow me on Twitter, just BP Miles, and the dribbler goes towards short. Dan Lyons charges in and delivers an accurate throw to first in the final half of the inning. Lopez now 1 for 4, Bluefish are unable to score. They set 2 goals up on 8 of 5 to Bridgeport, maintaining a 4-run cushion. 5-1 with count. You're listening to Perry Miles on Bridgeport Bluefish. Not God. We'll be right back.
We're going to be playing higher and lower. We're going to show you 3 on the ground baseball on the side score. Each one has a price on it. We're going to run up here and you get higher or lower. If we get 2 or 3 out of them, correct, you're taking over prize. Go to the side score. So let's take it over there. Pass it up to your video board. Up first on Ralph Piner, autograph baseball. It's one of the good dollars. Tell them out. Higher or lower? What do you think, buddy? He's going to say higher and... $89, $99 lower. Up next is Brady Williams on your big club. $250. Higher or lower, Brad? What do you think? He's going to say higher and... He is absolutely right. $299 is higher. He is just right. Well, Mariano over there on autograph big club. $350 higher. He's saying higher and... Yes, he's absolutely right. That means you know the game on this big club, courtesy of Side Score. Your name is going to be 34 hours to possibly win a plenty game to see and see. Let's hear party, everybody. That's Side Score places right here. And you forget to check out the Side Score store in Garden City of Philadelphia. Baseball fans, as we work with the Whippy Raffle Whippy tonight, here is the winning number. The winning number is 677. 5479 677 5479. If you ever ready to be right with the video for the one shot, they come forward behind home plate and the prize. Once again, that winning number is 677
Bluefish baseball is here from Bethpage Ballpark in Central Islip, New York on Memorial Day weekend. The Bluefish have certainly hit the ball well against Joe Esposito, but since his departure, it's been a little bit more difficult for Bridgeport, as they still are ahead by a count of 5-1 from Bethpage Ballpark, with Matt Esquivel leading off right now the red, and then Sean Williams 4, 5, and 6 in the order. It is the bottom half of the 6th inning, so we'll quickly go to the trivia question in just a moment. The first pitch lines up in the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. It's been a great start so far for Gilbert Delvara. 5 innings, 1-run baseball. Can you make it 6 innings? The next pitch, curveball, is upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the trivia question for today: which player on Long Island had the lowest ERA in a minimum of 6 games against the Fish last year? 1 runners outside, 2 balls and a strike. So many years of successful baseball from the Ducks. Made the playoffs almost every single year since the team's inception. Greg Bolton, the same owner of the Bridgeport Bluefish, he's also the owner of the Long Island Ducks. 2 on his swung on and missed 2-2. It could be a high changeup and a high curveball. And Frank Bolton, Mr. Bolton, actually started owning the Bluefish a few years back. The pitch is still to the right side, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The trivia question is: which member of the Ducks in a minimum of 6 games is able to have the lowest ERA against Bridgeport? And the answer is Jeremy Hill. The pitch is fouled back, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jeremy Hill pitched in 7 games, 3.48 ERA. Out of the bullpen as well. And at one point was a setup man for this team. Still is one of the 7, but not necessarily the 8th inning. He's a versatile player for the Ducks. We're basically leaning for a moment. 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Esquivel lunged for it. He was tagged out by Louis Rodriguez. And Esquivel is 0-for-3 on the day. For whatever reason, the Bluefish seem to have more success at this venue than they do at some of the other ones, namely Southern Maryland and York. Although this time around they won 5 games out of 7 at those venues. It was TD Bank Ballpark that gave the Bluefish the trouble as the first pitch dances inside. 1 ball, no strikes. And sometimes you hit dry patches. Sometimes teams hit walls at unsuspecting times. The 1-0 is grounded towards short, sprinting to his left, and squaring up before a 3-quarter release is delivered by Rogers to record out number 2. Eddie Rogers, 6-3. Gathered the ball, brought it up to the chest, and then used the infield call-out to square and deliver an accurate strike. Williams 1 for 2 today. He moves forward, lefty-righty, pitch, a floater outside. Gilbert De La Vara's changeup has been filthy today. He's kept Long Island off balance as another swing and miss induced from an off-speed pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. And when the changeup makes the hitter look that bad, as another squibbler is sent towards second, a wicked hop by Lopez, he bombers it. He booted it. It came up on him in the last second. He tried the second time and could not repossess it. Is an E4 to his right side. But any time we change up a curveball pitcher, able to establish moves, off-speed pitches with strikes, and be able to manipulate location, whether it be down the middle of the plate or towards the shin area, is going to be highly successful that day. And proof is right here with Gilbert De La Vara. De La Vara releases first pitch, fastball, low, 1-0 count. The only series last year that the Ducks lost was against the Camden River Sharks. It took plenty of work for that to happen. The 1-0 is the only reason why that happened is because Long Island was swept at Campbell's Field 6 consecutive games in the second half, and Long Island, even though they won 2 out of 3, they won the final series of the year. Fastball, misguided inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. 7-2 in the second half, not too shabby for the River Sharks after putting up a reasonable fight in the first half, even though the squad lost 6 out of 9 to the Ducks. The 2-1. Stroke to right field is a base hit on a sharp ground ball. Ricky Gurecki is on base with a single. Runners at first and second. It brings up Josh Johnson. An error can fuel a big rally, even with 2 batters out. With nobody out, a team may be deflated based on error or a series of misguided events, as Terry McGriff makes his indication down to the right field or left field corner, where a pitcher will get warmed up. I believe it is a right-hander. And my best guess would be Jonah Bayless. The 2-out toss is a fastball over the middle, no balls and 1 strike. Gilbert hoping to complete 6 innings of work today. Right now he would qualify for the decision as the ball is partially blocked in dirt and then went around the world with Louis Rodriguez. Almost like around the world in basketball when you shoot 1 spot, another spot, another spot, until you complete it at the 3-point line or even the half-court shot, whatever it is that people play at home. The 1-1. Foul tipped into the mitt of Rodriguez. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Plenty of activity tonight in the Atlantic League. A 6:30 start as the runner was nearly going to La Vara. Pump fakes towards second after he stepped off the rubber. De La Vara nearly had Sean Williams on a rundown. He has plenty of speed. No business going to third base at this point. You can even hear the quackers in the background. As the noise level has increased, the curveball is chopped into the ground foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The York Revolution all over the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs 7-2 from Sovereign Bank Stadium. The Skeeters and the Barnstormers scoreless in the bottom of the first. Hamden a 4-3 winner against Somerset from TD Bank Ballpark. 0-1-2. Swung on and stroked into left center field. Galoma moved off the pole on a hop. He bobbers for a moment, but it would not have mattered. A run scores anyhow. RBI single by Josh Johnson. As he now has both RBI on the day. The Bluefish now ahead by a score of 5-2 with the tie run approaching home plate in Dan Lyons. Willie Upshaw making his way from the dugout towards the mound. The question will be whether or not De La Barra will be allowed to continue with the rest of his outing. He has allowed runs in each of the last 2 innings, and he may be approaching his imaginary pitch limit of 100. He is at 96 or 97 at this point. As De La Barra's discussion with Willie Upshaw, the ruling was a single at pitch number 96. De La Barra 7 hits and 2 walks on his resume. Willie Upshaw discusses it further, and De La Barra knows he cannot allow another hit to Dan Lyons. He's already surrendered 1 of those innings in that game in the 3rd inning. It's almost as if he's been stirring some trouble throughout the night, especially from the 3rd inning on, when the Ducks have gotten better swings. Remember, this is the 3rd time around in the order. Batters get accustomed to the way that pitchers are able to throw. And De La Barra holds the glove high at the chest, ready to go after the quick conversation. The 2-out pitch is a curveball, sinking low, 1 ball and no strikes. 5 out of the 7 hits for Long Island coming from hitters 6 through 9 in the lineup. Dan Lyons waits though. 1-0 is struck behind the other right field. Redmond chasing it back. He's nearing the track, stretches out, and corrals it for the final out of the frame. It was driven a long way, but it was caught up to on 4 outs in the inning. A run does come across an RBI single by Josh Johnson. The Bluefish lead has been trimmed by 1 more. It's 5-2. You're listening to Perry Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back.
You guys will decide which kid has the message, please.
Not too late to join me and one of your friends by becoming a member of the Snappers Club. The Snappers Club is the only club to all of the As a member of the Snappers Club, you're not only free to take on the Snappers Club, but you also get a membership card to show all of your friends. Plus a special t-shirt you have to tell everyone you're a member of the club. These small bunch members will also be invited on video contributions just like the Bluefish do. Players along with all the music the Snappers Club has to offer. To join the Bluefish Club, 203-453-BlueFish.com/snappers to become a member of the Snappers Club.
And with program, congratulations to Kendall Rottenberg, the big league outdoor promotion winner. Kendall is one of the greatest responsibilities in elementary school, which was written by the line of us, and the hospital school ticket to the election. We have all the significant outdoor program to the website. We also find out how your virtual apartments is Saturday, and going to party and play now with 6 p.m. Located outdoor outdoor, and high school park. Congratulations once again to Kendall Rottenberg from Parkview Elementary.
Advertising with the Bridgeport Bluefish is a sure way to hit a home run in your community. Since 1998, nearly 3 million fans have
That's when the return of the bullpen. Now we're going to get out of the Dutch number 17, Eric Peterson. Never seen me. Let's hope the bullpen is about to line. We're going to take over. Let's try. Super rated. Suzuki. Kicking your destination for 1-888 Springfield. That's 1-888 Springfield. You get some of your forehead orders in revenge.
Join the Bluefish team now. Call any of them.
This call to the bullpen presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. That is the day for Dan Meyer. An inning, a hit, and a walk. Nothing was required as the Lions tried to fuel themselves back into the game. They've been unsuccessful in tying the score. It is a 5-2 contest. The first batter of the inning is Curtis Redden. He extended his on-base streak to 24 consecutive with a walk in the fifth, although he was eliminated as the first pitch is a fastball high, 1 ball and no strikes. Top half of inning number 7. The Major League Baseball scores are coming up soon as the chopper is towards the middle, handle on the move by Ray Navarrete, and he flips it to first in time. Navarrete to Sean Williams, second base to first, for the first out of the 7th. He's a power home. Willie is a home run and 2 stolen bases along with a walk. Tremendous impact player on the Bluefish squad. The long waggles his back, quick slice of the fastball juts inside, and it twists the long around. 1 ball, no strikes. This year has been strange for Eric Neeson. Neeson at 4.970 ERA, 12 2/3 innings as Malone fights it off to left field out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. But opponents are hitting .340 against the lefty, but just a 4.97. So he's getting a plenty of base runners, 22 base runners at 14 2/3 as the fastball is elevated. 2 balls and a strike. 340 batting average is very telling as a jam shot is served foul to the third base side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Major League Baseball update, the NBA update, and also any NHL news, because, of course, the Rangers and Devils played last night, with the Devils coming out on top. Fastball over the middle of high, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rangers lose by a score of 5-3. They were down 3-0, tied the contest, and then fell as Malone throws his bat to the ground and follows the lead to first base after drawing himself a second walk of the day. And you know that he is a threat to steal. The other part of the equation that changes is this is the first time that he's actually had to deal with a left-handed pitcher trying to pick him off. Both Esposito and Graham were right-handers on the hill. With their backs turned, the slide step approach, and the fastball cuts the outside corner of the 0-1. The count. Luis Lopez is 0 for 3. 3-1, fly ball to center, and then 5-3. The pitch is still towards second, and the line's on snag by Ray Navarrete. Not a problem on the stand for Navarrete, just moved over a step to his right. Very good hands, Navarrete, but not quite as good as the below average arms. A very good power bat, but none of it translated into AA baseball. He was brought in by several teams to play affiliated baseball at AA after his domination. As a matter of fact, he was the Atlantic League Player of the Year one year. 2009. But it seems as if his days in affiliate baseball may be numbered or non-existent as the fastball turns inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Lopez's the second out. Now Vasquez takes a big swing. 1 ball and 1 strike. Flags whipping out towards left field. Green and orange representing the Ducks' colors. They're in their white uniforms with the Ducks in calligraphy across the front of the chest. 1-1. Floats outside. 2 balls and a strike. The white bottom and the stripes on the back side of the uniform. 2-1. Fastball. Again upstairs. 3-1. Ramon Vasquez gets on base. Brock Peterson, who's been the Bluefish have had tonight, moving forward as a fastball rotates towards the outside edge. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Willie Upshaw loves to go with the hot hand, with the hot bat. While Prentice Redmond has had very few days off, Colin Malone has not really had any days off. 3-2. Fastball inside, ball 4. It was at the right level, maybe slightly higher than the knee, but it was taken by Vasquez. He gets on base for the 2nd time tonight. Conversation quickly stopped by Josh Johnson. Calm down his pitcher. So far, Esposito 2 1/3, 8 hits, 5 runs, a walk, and strikeout. Graham 2 2/3 in his outing. A walk and 2 strikeouts. Dan Meyer with an inning, a hit, and a walk. And Neeson hoping to throw another scoreless inning for the Ducks bullpen. But it will have to come down to whether or not he can stop the bleeding right now with Peterson as a fastball rotates outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Pair of doubles and a single for Brock, former Rochester Red Wing from a year ago. A prodigious power hitter in the minor league, 17 to 20 home runs. I was in AA, AAA baseball, going through the ranks. That is the Tidewater area as Peterson pops one high near the deep to left of center field, having a beat out goal and making the catch. Craig Biddick for the final out. It was something to play. Peterson just missed. Giving a big time shot. The Bluefish. Simply stretch time, Bluefish fans. Bridgeport still owns a 5-2 lead. You're listening to Perry Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com.
Because it's time to simply accept Truckee by Emblem Health. Somebody reach for the sky and go, whoa, heck of the air! And now touch your clothes and say, ah. And now we're going to shake the tail feather like Quacker Jack. Everybody shake the tail feather. Now they're all stretched and ready to go. The kids in short order are going to help us say, take me out to the ball game. But we need the help of every club fan here as well. Count of 3, guys. 1, 2, 3.
Something you're actually looking for. Search for it's not just an action swing drive. This way, it's getting a swing without the red. Get ready right now. Raise the search. Celebrate the game. Celebrate the legacy. Create good moments now at baseball.org. Like AIT on top of baseball.
This call to the bullpen, presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to that for our community. It is the stout right-handed pitcher, Jonah Bayless. Former Lancaster Barnstormer. Done quite well this year for the Fish. 2.41 ERA, 11 games, 18 2/3 innings. Opponents just hitting .224 against the right-hander. He's been one of the better relief pitchers on the Fish this year. English and Bayless also is a lefty. Those five have been heavily relied on to play a major role on this team as the first pitch is on its way from the right-hander Bayless to the righty Craig Bennett, who was 0-for-3 tonight. The first pitch is on its way from the right-hander. Bayless deals. The first pitch is on the inside edge. No balls and one strike. Establishing inside before delivering outside. That's the pattern as Roberto Ortiz is in the on-deck circle. The next pitch floats to the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. It's been a quick transition. Strike 1, strike 2 after Gilbert De La Mora played 6 innings and gave up 7 hits on 2 earned runs. He can win it. He cannot lose it. Pitch is chopped on the ground towards second. Lopez snags. Quick throw across. Scooped up in the dirt by Brock Peterson. One away. Great scoop by Peterson. He throws a little short. But the 4-3 put out by Bennett sends Roberto Ortiz in motion to the batter's box. Between Josh Johnson and Roberto Ortiz, the Bluefish have had some pains and aches from those 2 hitters. Everyone else really has been kept in check. 2 hits for Ortiz, a couple of singles, a stolen base, and a walk as he waggles the bat up top. The first pitch well outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Roberto Ortiz attended Dowling College, Division II out of the East Coast Conference, was one of the best, if not the best player in the history of Dowling baseball. Well, 1-0 is a fastball, high 2 balls and no strikes. Oakdale and Central Islip not far away from each other. Matter of fact, I used to call basketball games at Dowling College, about 5 to 10 minutes away from Bethpage Ballpark. 2 balls and no strikes with 1 man out. 5-2 the score. Bayless uncorks, and the fastball is inside 3-0. The Bluefish have lost 7 of 9. Long Island in the opposite direction. A 3-0 change up on the inside corner. No chance for Ortiz. 3-1. Wanted to pull the trigger, could not. Long Island 7-3 in the last 10. Doing 4 games on the Fish as next one is a high drive down the left field line. That veers foul and lands close to the picnic area. Bluefish fans enjoying the game today because not only is the team ahead, but also saw a solid pitching performance out of De La Mora. The 3-2 is low ball 4, and Jonah Bayless allows his first base runner of the ball game. is Roberto Ortiz causing the Bluefish some nightmares on the mound. Let's take a look at the scores from around the world of Major League Athletics. And there's a limited docket today. Yankees are off, Red Sox are off, and the Mets are in a rain delay from Citi Field. That may be heading its way to Bethpage Ballpark. The one-out toss from Bayless slides low. The ball, no strikes. For a taller player, the strike zone would be from the knees to the shoulders. So the baseball might actually have to be a little bit higher than it would be for a guy like myself, 5'5", 5'6", as opposed to a 6'6" beast like Brandon Singh. The 1-0. Fastball cruises outside, 2-0. The Mets in the top half of the third inning, 1-0 to score. New York on top. In the NBA, even with Udonis Haslem and Dexter Pittman suspended, the Miami Heat hanging in there against the Indiana Pacers. The game is tied at 28, with the Heat leading the series 3-2. And the NHL is set for Game 6 tomorrow night from The Rock. The Rangers and Devils, slated for 8 o'clock Eastern. The 2-0. Fastball inside. 3 balls and no strikes. The tying run is waiting in the on-deck circle. Bayless has had some trouble throwing strikes. Last couple of hitters. Ortiz walked, Singh on the verge of doing the same. 3-0. Swan missed. 3 balls and 1 strike. Bottom half of the 7th inning. Bridgeport ahead by 3. Center fielder Colin Malone angled towards left center field. There are so many birds on the island. There's a reason why it was the nickname, the Ducks, because 1, it was available, and 2, because there's a great opportunity to represent the ornithological community. The 3-1, runner goes, swung on and missed. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no throw made. It is a stolen base. As Roberto Ortiz swipes the second base of the game. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The wind beginning to pick up. Question now becomes, is there any rain going to appear from this? Or will it stay away from Bethpage Ballpark for the rest of this evening? The 3-2. Slips outside, ball 4. Brandon Singh walks. Runners at first and second for Matt Escobar. Willie Upshaw going to the mound to talk with his relief pitcher. Bluefish cannot afford to have another player out there because it's not really Ronnie Lewis time. Not anyone's time at this point. Bayless has been one of the more trustworthy and reliable hurlers out of the pen for Bridgeport. As he goes back to the mound, right now the temperature is 61 degrees. There were pop-up thunderstorms in New York City that have been pretty much stationed in the same areas. And it appears as if it is well away from Central Islip, New York. A couple of showers on the coast. Some of the showers from the coast drifting in towards New York City. And all it takes is a quick shower to really drive the fans underneath the canopy area or perhaps out of the ballpark. 8:48 on the East Coast. It was a 6:37 first pitch. The 1-out toss, a fastball high, 1 ball, no strikes. Somewhat of a chilly night. Some of the players wearing the underarm underneath the jerseys is a 1-0. Finds the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Light fixtures are on deep into the night from Bethpage Ballpark. Runners at first and second. Bale is set at the belt. Twists his head back and forth, and then decides to lift his leg and then step off the rubber. Right-handers are allowed to do that if their intent is to go back to second base. Right-handers have a more easy time keeping runners closer at third in case a run tries to score. Bale stares again at second base. The pitch is ripped into left field. There's a base hit by a great runner around. Bernard Jones rifled the ball and is cut off by Luis Lopez. RBI single by Matt Escobar. The lead is now 5-3. How important now is that insurance run that the Bluefish got returned from around the world? Rain never echoes forward. He is 0 for 3. Colin Malone shifting towards left center field. Navarrete is left at that, grounded to short. The 1-out pitch. Off speed on the outside corner. 1 strike. This is an important game for the Bluefish to get. They jumped on Joe Esposito early and allowed runs in each of the last 3 innings. And the Bluefish stopped the bleeding. Bayless's 1 strike pitch drives low, 1 ball and 1 strike. RBI single by Josh Johnson in the 6th. RBI single by Matt Escobar in the 7th. Home run by Josh Johnson in the 5th. That's what is accounted for the slow but steady mantra depicted by the turtle and the hare in Aesop's fable. Right now, Long Island is the tortoise if the pitch is low, 2 balls, 1 strike. Tortoise in the sense that the hare and the Bluefish started out pretty quickly, scoring 5 runs in the first 3 innings, 5 of them in 4 of them in the second, 1 more in the third. Since then, Long Island has had 3 unanswered. The Bluefish are in danger right now as the curveball swings inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Nobody's warming up in the bullpen for this one either. It's no activity. Crowd becoming a little bit more active. Bayless stares in, belts. Marks up with the glove, pitches, looking fast and looking at 3-2. The awning underneath is covering the press box. It juts out to the field of play, which includes the suites in this venue. Bayless stares in the pitch. Low and in ball 4. The tying run. Bayless did not seem to find his way. The score is right. Sean Williams. About to take a few cuts. Williams is single in the 4th inning. It is rather difficult to win at this venue. Bridgeport has seemed to earn a few victories here more so than in many other parts of the first pitch fastball misfired inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. He cannot seem to get anything right now. At one point, Gilbert De La Rora was able to get the calls. Now John Bayless unable to. The 1-0. fastball outside, 2 balls, no strikes. His fastball is landing 3 to 6 inches off the corner inside. And he did not seem to get the call because the umpire is now allowing him to expand the zone, which is, according to the textbook, the perfect way to do so. 2-0. Fastball elevated in, 3 balls and no strikes. He cannot buy a strike at this point. No 3-0. Right down the middle, 3 balls and 1 strike. Will Sean Williams take again? It is imperative that Bayless is able to record it out here. Now 3-1. Fastball, guided to the outside corner. 2 takes, 2 strikes for Williams. Question is, what kind of offering will Bayless decide to go with? Timeout is called to break up the flow of the pitcher. And that is an intelligent move by Williams as Bayless peers in for the side. Glove pinned against his left thigh. He brings it back to the chest. The 3-2 release. Swung on it, and then strike 3. A huge strikeout for Jonah Bayless. He could not find the strike zone. It was like depended on over the 7 of the last 8 pitches. He would fall behind in the count. But then he wiggled back. Found a way to strike out Sean Williams. Reed Gorecki moves in. The tying run is at second base. The go-ahead run over at first. The bases are loaded. 5-3 the score. Bayless's 2-out offering right over the middle, 0-1. As soon as Bayless found something that was effective, he has decided to go with that pitch. Sometimes it takes a couple. Lifts his leg on the 0-1. Whiffed. Breaking pitch from Bayless. 0-2. Surface close to the inside corner. A tantalizing pitch, which tempted Williams or Gorecki to swing. No balls and 2 strikes. Pitch. Swung and lifted left to the base hit. Jones fields and goes to the home as it is blocked by Louis Rodriguez and RBI sailed by Lee Gorecki. The left field, the Ducks are leading the run. 5-4. That pitch was socked. Bayless tried to go one too many times to his breaking pitch. Louis Rodriguez emerges from home plate. Josh Johnson is handled. Starting pitcher Gilbert De La. Bayless has yet to face Josh Johnson in this game. Quick chat between the two. Sometimes doubling up on pitches is not the way to go. And that time, the second pitch was not nearly in the same location as the first one. The first one was high, jutting down. The second one was about neck high that landed about belt high on the breaking pitch. Josh Johnson represents the 8th batter that has come to the plate in this inning. 2 men out. Bayless waits. Runners at first and second. The pitch twists to the inside corner. No balls, 1 strike. Long Island started this rally with a walk from Roberto Ortiz. He stole second, another walk. That time from Brandon Singh is a fastball directed outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. And I do apologize, it's not Josh Johnson, it's Brian Nelson is pitch hitting. So there will be a new catcher entering. Question is, who will it be? Ryan Garko is the third catcher on the Ducks. And he's gone. He left for affiliated baseball, a 1-1. Fastball right down the middle, 1 ball, 2 strikes. There are 2 catchers listed on the roster, Sean Williams and Josh Johnson. In all likelihood, Sean Williams would move behind the dish. Ray Navarrete may move to first, and Brian Nelson may move to second. 1-2. Chop on the ball towards third. Lopez gathers and throws to first in time to retire the side. The Bluefish are able to keep the lead. But Long Island gets 2 runs closer as the Bluefish are down by a score of 5-4, or the Bluefish are ahead by a score of 5-4, end of 7. You're listening to Betty Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back after these words from our local sponsors. Stay tuned, my friends.
We're checking and more.
Using a light gear with more change, you need to man up, not man down. Because up is way better than down. You don't tell someone sad to cheer down. What's down, dog? A steamy pile and you just stepped in it. Your girlfriend's not wearing a push down bra. It's called gravity. It's a little bit when I get down front with it. All this down talk is better than down. It's not better down. Man up and choose a light gear with more change. Triple up for a little taste flavors. And Miller Lite, you know there's only one thing baseball fans love as much as great Pilsner teams, and that's rooting for the home team. Because home is way better than away. Away is not where the heart is. Bringing your way to Macon. Why? Macon is delicious. Away is way up in your hat. You should be hung up by your underpants. So why root for the away team when you can root for the home team? With that great Pilsner taste of Miller Lite. Triple Ounce Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. Shark Tooth, Screwdriver, golf team for the golf trip that you never went golfing on. Roll 1, tuning fork, 4-4, drumsticks, a motel key. Let's not talk about the motel key. Needle nose pliers, a spark plug, a domino, a house key. There's lots of things you can use to open a new Miller Lite Punch Top kit. You'll always get the same thing, a smooth pour with less clog. However you punch it, it's Miller time. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. Shark Tooth, Screwdriver, Skeleton Key, golf team for the golf trip that you never went golfing on. Roll 4, tuning fork, 4-4. The lucky fish lure you snag down. Sorry, Alan. Drumsticks, chopsticks for replacement at Dallas-based flight attendant. A motel key. Let's not talk about the motel key. A spark plug, domino, a house key. How do these things make Miller Lite from a can even better? Find out.
Bluefish baseball is back. It is a new ball game, 5-4. Boy, does that Colin DeLong home run mean so much right now. That's the difference in the game. The solo drive in the 3rd inning. Long Island has scored 4 runs in the last 3 innings. 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. The first pitch located outside and low. 1 ball and no strikes. First batter of the frame, Louis Rodriguez, takes a big cut and fouls it off. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody out top of the 8th inning. Well, still has a reasonable shot this game. They've made a furious comeback before. The next one is a rocket upstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike. But it's been quite difficult to think that a team down 5 runs could make a long comeback. It has happened before as Rodriguez makes a foul. But just like coming back to a basketball game from a 20-25 point deficit, it's not to say that doesn't happen. It does not happen that often. Seeing crazier events happen in baseball as Rodriguez takes a next pitch high, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rodriguez leads off, followed by Eddie Rogers and Kennard Jones. Southpaw uncorks and fastball out to taking his base, Louis Rodriguez. The Bluefish postgame show is coming up. I'm in the conclusion of the ball game, scores and summaries around the Atlantic League, and also a look at how the moves impact the Bluefish show. That's right. Let's not forget about the addition of Mr. Peter Barrows, the outfielder, a local product who attended the University of Bridgeport at one point. In 2011 was in the American Association, but Schoen pulled back, called a ball on a heater. So Louis Rodriguez has reached base 3 times tonight. And Eddie Rogers is 1 for 3, but he's looking to advance Rodriguez into scoring position. The southpaw deals, the bunt attempt is up the right side, handled by the hurler, and the throw to first is in time. Sacrifice is successful on a 1-3 putout, sending Rodriguez over to second base as Eric Neeson records the first out of the 8th. A walk, a sacrifice 1-3, and Jones weighs in. 1 for 4 with a single to left. Lots of single RBI days for each squad. 5 1 RBI guys. Jones could be the second one if he were able to drive in Louis Rodriguez at second as the first pitch slides inside of the back door. 4 balls, 1 strike. Kennard Jones must have taken some acting lessons with the way that he contorted his body, bent it backwards. The 0-1 slide step. Pitch is grounded towards the middle, shifting to his right and following it towards the first is Bryant Nelson for out number 2. So the new position, Rainier Willetts at first, Brian Nelson's at second, and Sean Williams takes over behind the plate. But if Williams gets hurt, God forbid anybody get hurt, but if, let's say, Sean Williams were to get hurt, is there a player on the Ducks staff that would be able to catch as Baez takes the ball from Eric Neeson, a runner at third base, with 2 men out. This call to the bullpen, presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. Pedro Lopez is stepping up to the plate. When we return on BridgeportBluefish.com, we'll let you know who is entering the game for Long Island.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the picks of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we want is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team. At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year we uphold the commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community. Prudential Insurance Company, American, New Jersey, to face Prudential Annuities business of Prudential Financial Aid.
This is Jeremy Cliff, pitching coach for the Bridgeport Bluefish, and you're listening to Larry Miles on the Bluefish broadcast.
Jeremy Hill makes his way into the game for Long Island. This ball to the bullpen, presented by Prudential Annuity. Prudential Annuity, going to bat for our community. Jeremy Hill had pitched against the Bluefish last year. He also pitched against this year. It happened once or twice. But Hill has some inconsistent numbers. 2 wins, no loss, ERA of 4.91. Opponents hitting .316 against him after having a solid 2011 campaign. He'll have to deal with Pedro Lopez. The first pitch is a fastball guided outside, 1 ball and no strikes. If Pedro Lopez reaches, Prentice Redmond would be the next hitter. Boy, the Bluefish do need a base hit at this point. Extend the lead to 2. Put some of the pressure off the pitching staff as a fastball sent to the outside corner. 1-1. 9:09 on the East Coast. Ducks have been wiggling their way back into the game, almost like a snake wiggles its way back through its prey. A 1, well outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Where Jeremy Hill releases, it's almost on a diagonal plane. The upper part of his shoulder all the way down towards the knee area on the outside corner. Anybody that can reach that far, doing a great job. The 2-1, fastball right on the outside corner. Lopez perplexed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Single in the second inning for the second baseman. Other than that, he has been held off the scoreboard. The 2-2, well outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bridgeport gives up almost 5 earned runs a game. If that were to happen in this contest, we'd be going to extras. Assuming that there were no unearned runs. 1 error for each side, and the next pitch swung on a high chopper towards second. Nelson charges it on the backhand and delivers to first for the final out of the frame. Louis Rodriguez is stranded at third base with 2 men out. End of 7 1/2. Bridgeport still ahead by a run. It's 5-4. You're listening to 30 Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back.
For being such a cute child, we're going to give them a $100 gift certificate courtesy of Belmont East Nelson Value Store. There will be hours on the game. And then keep your eyes over there at the British Shortboard. That's a real team worker from Pacific County Community College.
And now I'm going to take the
So I just agree account, like the partnership that went to best CPA firms in the region.
now I'm running a short program. It's 100,000 graduates.
It's getting to sleep in your own bed. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for. With the real yellow pages, YP.com, YP.com, and only from AT&T.
Baseball legend Henry Aaron reflects on his Hall of Fame legacy.
I think that since I played for them, what I did, it's the proudest moment of my life to give everything to them. See it. There's no other building that can do it like that.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the legacy. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballwall.org.
And don't forget the Bridgeport Bluefish will be here again tomorrow night. Game time is 7:05, the game's 6:05. There's 2,000 fans purchasing a one-and-done t-shirt tomorrow night. That's jersey t-shirts and giveaways for the first 2,000 fans who are getting to our Ballpark tomorrow evening. Thank you for tomorrow night's game, tomorrow night for the 2012 schedule. Our brother will be ticket office, which is open to good meetings after the game tonight.
This goal to the bullpen presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. Romy Lewis is on the hill for the Fish. No messing around for Bridgeport today. They have their 3 top guys, Bayless, Lewis, and potentially Jorge Julio waiting in the wings. As the first pitch is upcoming from Ronnie Lewis to Dan Lyons. Lyons is 1-for-3 tonight. Lyons big and Roberto Ortiz. 6-4 the score. Or rather 5-4 the score. I apologize. 9 hits for each side. 1 error for each team. Lewis deals. First pitch fastballs on the inside corner. No balls, 1 strike. He has been the best Bluefish pitcher on this team. Question is whether or not he'll pitch the 8th inning or the 8th and the 9th. Close out the deal. Bale has struggled in his inning of work, giving up those 2 earned runs. The 0-1 slips inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Long Island wanting to be on a furious comeback, and right now they are 4/5 of the way to tying it. Need that extra run, fastball, travels outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Romy Lewis this year, 1.20 ERA, 15 innings, 3 runs, 2 earned, 10 strikeouts for the former member of the Toronto Blue Jays. Sports and Mohawk as well. The 2-1. Fastball glides to the inside corner, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And it'll look to be found throwing a football with Kyle Zaleski, but when he steps between the lines, business as always, being serious. Same with the rest of the pitchers for Bridgeport. The 2-2 from the southpaw. Swung on in there, strike 3. Lyons goes fishing. He winds up with no fish. First strikeout of the game for Romy Lewis. Brings up Craig Bennett. 4 runs scoring for the Fish. Coming in the 2nd inning. The big shot represented right now. He's in the 3rd from Colin DeLome. 1 out toss from Lewis. Curveball on the outside corner. Bennett hesitated for a moment. That hesitation led to no swing. Then taking a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Bluefish after the weekend will take on the York Revolution in a 4-game set. As the curveball is bounced on the ground to 3rd, but Lopez collects it foul as he threw a dart over to 1st. And he did not hear the call of the 3rd base umpire. He could not stop his momentum, as Matt Deaver indicated it was in foul territory. Conversation taking place between the 3rd base coach for the squad for the Long Island Ducks. I believe that might be Jimmy Viglio. First base coach, Bud Harrelson, he's over there on the first base line for big leaguer in his own right. No balls, 2 strikes to Bennett. Lopez creeping in from 3rd, pitch chopped over to 2nd. Lopez snares, throws to 1st, 2 away. A 4-3. And Romy Lewis has been effective, 2 out so far. And it's all been about getting ahead in the count. Roberto Ortiz has reached base all 4 times tonight. And the last time it resulted in the latest Long Island scoring rally, putting up 2 runs in that 8th inning. Or 7th inning, rather. 2 runs in the 7th, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 5th. First ball is fast on the outside corner, 0-1. The Bluefish in their top half of the 9th inning will send Prentice Redmond, Colin DeLome, and Luis Lopez to the plate. Bridgeport and Long Island, for those of you who have not tuned in or are tuned in now, 3.5 behind Long Island for first place, even though Bridgeport's won all 3 matchups so far. Go on. Fastball high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bridgeport, after the recent Southern Maryland victory, 5-0 in extra innings. This year, one of those games was against Long Island. The other 4 against the Blue Crabs. 1-1, swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's a close ball game. It is conceivable that these 2 teams could wind up going extras tonight. Bluefish want to prevent that. 1-2 from Romy. Setup is outside. Pitch, curveball. So foul. Seems as if Roberto Ortiz is able to identify the ball on its downward plane much more effectively right now even against a tough pitcher like Lewis. Hides the ball, feet parallel to the mound. Facing first, the 1-2. Broken back, Nubber to second. Lopez fields, throws to first to retire the side. A strikeout and a pair of 4-3 grounders for Ronnie Lewis. He throws a scoreless 8. Season comes in from the ninth. Another great Julio won a chance to shut the door and notch another save on his resume. Top of the ninth inning coming up, 5-4. Bluefish on top of the Ducks. You're listening to Cody Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com.
How we can all come out and work together, just like the team. Everyone is about everyone works together. Good things happen. That's why each year we work together to help charitable causes in our team. And by being to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting homeless businesses and banks, Bridgeport Bluefish is one big company there. Big positive teachers, Bridgeport Bluefish, going back, Bridgeport checks coming here, and there's graduates and It's Jim Cliff, pitching coach for the Bridgeport Bluefish, continuously very mild on the Bluefish broadcast.
Ultimate class lineup. There is a difference.
Bluefish baseball returns for the ninth inning. Bluefish have been holding on. It was 5-0 at 1 point. Colin DeLome's homer, representing the only run scored in the third for Bridgeport, is the one right now that means the most. The first pitch swerves to the outside corner, no balls and 1 strike. 4 runs scored from inning 5 through inning 7 for Long Island, as the next pitch is a dribbler to the right side, induced by Hill, as Brian Nelson squares and throws to Navarrete for out number 1. Prentice Redmond may not have picked up a hit, but he extended his on-base streak to 24 consecutive games with a walk. The 4-3 sends Colin DeLome to the dish. The 1-out toss from Hill, swung on and missed by DeLome. No balls and 1 strike. DeLome has had a very active day, defensively and offensively. Home run. Let's not forget about his walks. And he also has picked up 2 steals of bases. The 0-1, nubbed, foul to the left, no balls, 2 strikes. This bullpen for Long Island has given the team every chance to come back in this game. Throwing scoreless inning after scoreless inning. 2 1/3 for Joe Esposito, 5 earned runs on 8 hits. 5, make it 6 innings of scoreless baseball by the bullpen. The 0-2, chop foul to the right side. Malone stays alive. Meanwhile, the Bluefish starter was very good. Delavaro, 6 innings of 7-hit, 2-run baseball. Also walked, I believe, 2 batters in the contest. DeLone waits, stalls, and then the next pitch is sliding near the right center field. That hit very deep as the center fielder Craig Bennett converges to make the catch in the right center field alley 2-way. Colin DeLone now 1 for 3 on the night.
Third baseman, the right team.
His average was our hold for tomorrow if the Bluefish do not have any more at-bats in store. Luis Lopez is 0-for-4 tonight. And yesterday, he had a 2-hit day. It's been that kind of season for Luis to this point. One point he was hitting 313, 330. And Lopez chops it towards the middle. Grabbed by the shortstop, and Lyons throws on the move as the momentum carried him towards right field. The shortstop was already about halfway between first and second as he was looking to toss off on the time. 63 into the inning, no runs, no hits, no one left on. End of 8.5. Bridgeport holding on to a 5-4 lead. You're listening to Perry Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back after these words from our local sponsors. So you stay tuned, my friend.
Website is your local search engine. If you're looking for a good restaurant, it can help you find the right one nearby with ratings and reviews. Or if your car breaks down, you can use the YP app to find the closest repair shop. Or maybe you're just looking for something to do on a Friday night. Well, it has great local coupons for all sorts of things in your area. No matter what, when, or where. If you're looking for something, YP Local Search can help you find it. So go to YP.com or download the app. Search local, find local, and save local.
Don't check your rest. Follow up with your supervisor. Because no time is nothing to play, and everything to do with me. You'll invite his crew to the guys who are proud to call you brothers. Always talk you out of getting them phone on. Every time. During your bag swing. Got your brother. Send like beer that tastes like a beer shot. It's not just a pizza. It's another time. Bring your it's a rallying cry to the men around you, the ones that become your brothers. Call to be your attention. The night when your crew gets down to the test and nearly 9 ballpark tables. Listen, firing up the crowd. We're getting the band back together. Just a few choice words spoken to the right person. A great light beer that's never went on taste. Because it's not just a good time, it's another time.
Our Joey got me right now. Very good, you know. Location goes on out there. So we have to take a great job. Considering our all 3 of us.
We're going to play ladies and gentlemen, number 34, Jorge Julio, number 34.
The Bluefish and the Ducks in the bottom half of the ninth after a perfect 8th inning for Rory Lewis. He is out of the game. This call to the bullpen, presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. Jorge Julio has struggled a little bit this year as the right-hander stares in for the sign. The first pitch floats outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Jorge Julio has an ERA of 10+ this year. Not been his strongest start as the fastball poured in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brandon Singh, Matt Escobar, and Ray Navarrete. Jorge Julio this year, 5 innings total, 3 saves. Pitch swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes on what appeared to be a heavy changeup. Inning pitched last time out, 2 runs. None of those were earned on an inning strikeout. It's the first time that he's pitching against Long Island this year, and perhaps he's getting a little bit healthier, a little bit better from the shoulder surgery that he had to deal with last year. The 1-2 is outside 2-2. And that's all you can really hope if you're a Bluefish fan. If Jorge Julio is able to step up, come into his own, and be the way that he was in 2010 as Singh sends a high sky ball to the left side of the infield. Rogers makes the play as the shortstop crept behind Luis Lopez at third. Lopez was at the lip of the infield grass, and Rogers close to the lip of the outfield area.
Number 99.
Brandon Singh goes P6. It brings him Matt Esquivel. Esquivel at 1-4-4 tonight. A single to left field, a run scored. And also drove in a run as he takes a first pitch fastball on the inside corner 0-1. Jorge Julio at times will not directly throw strike one because he feels that confident about his stuff. The 0-1 is dribbled into the ground to the third base side. Julio fields, throws off balance at final time. As Peterson had to drag his feet off the bag just to save Julio from the network and perhaps save his elbow in the process because Esquivel was charging down the first base line and brings up Ray Navarrete. Navarrete represents the potential winning run. Jorge Julio was a little bit off balance when the swing was made by Esquivel. Esquivel went through and put it all out there, but because Julio got a late start and a late break on the ball, he was really unable to get his rhythm and he was in a little bit of a rush. The 10th base into the night for the Ducks. Navarrete 0-for-3 with a walk. Tying run represented at first base by Esquivel. Jorge Julio stares in. Decides to take his time. Navarrete, 2 homers, 14 ribbies in his last 10 games. He's been hitting. The first pitch fastball's inside. As before tonight, he goes for 3. He also scored 7 times in the process, and Long Island has been able to produce vast numbers of runs. The 1-0. Fastball guided to the outside corner, 1-1. Many of the fans making their way up. It might be raining at this point. Very difficult to tell from this angle. It's going to be a little bit later than expected as Navarrete pops it up to the right side of the infield. Brock Peterson is called off. Ball drops. But Pedro Lopez is right there to get the runner at second base. Oh boy. You could see that coming with Brock Peterson and Lopez converging towards the baseball. Peterson was called up at the last moment, and because it was a last moment call, it distracted the Bluefish for just a moment as Navarrete unintentionally reaches Marquez. He should have been a top fly here to put his chips and put a 6. The unconventional way. With Esquivel eliminated second base, there was no way that Esquivel would have gotten there unless there was a bad throw made. Pedro Lopez took his time and rifled it over there as Sean Williams stepped forward. The Ducks are down to their final out of the ball game. Set the pitch, fastball scooped up into the by Machetti. 1 ball, no strikes. We thank everybody for tuning in. Another classic at Bethpage Ballpark, the Ferry Cup Series. Bluefish hoping to win their 4th straight game this season against Long Island and go to within 2.5 of the Ducks for first place. A 1-0. Swallowed and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Ducks hoping that they can either tie the game or even win this game. If they do, first win in the Ferry Cup Series this year, move to 4.5 up on Bridgeport. With 3 more to play the rest of the series, the 1-1. Runner goes, pitches outside the throw, second, not nearly in time. The throw was on the third base side of the second base bag, and Matt Esquivel probably would not have stolen that base. Ray Navarrete did. He has much more speed than it would appear that Esquivel does. On 2.5, the runner is in scoring position with Jorge Julio. Down on the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Julio gets a new baseball. Williams a single. He reached underneath 4. He also struck out and grounded out 4-3. The 2-1. Swung on and line on 1 hop to second. Lopez snags it on the back end and throws to first. The Bluefish had won. That was a sharply struck baseball. It appeared it had eyes towards right center field, but the Bluefish win the game by a score of 5-4. They hold off the Charging Ducks. The post-game show comes right after this on BridgeportBluefish.com.
Bridgeport Bluefish, 5 runs, 9 winner. 1 out 4 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. The Richmond Bluefish is Gilbert Delavera. Richmond Bluefish is Gio. And the lead goes to Jorge Julio. Thank you so much. Bridgeport Bluefish is here on the bottom line. Game time 7:05. Gates open 6:05. The first 2 pounds of fans will see the all-in-one feature tomorrow night. We look forward to seeing you at Ballpark Memorial Day holiday weekend here at Bethpage Ballpark. We look forward to seeing you at that all-in-one feature tomorrow night. Game time 7:05. Game is 6:05. Tomorrow night, St. Louis will be on the road down the Singapore. The North River Regions, and the Ballpark Memorial Day. Thank you for all the great ones. This is mostly big time that way. We're going to do a bunch of movies coming up. First, let's hear things over to Long Island on the field. Right there behind the right. James Paul the Broncos.
Thank you, Bully Bob O'Connor, PA announcer here at the Long Island Ducks. Fans, once again, we want to thank you for coming out to tonight's game. And Bob was absolutely right. In a matter of moments, you will get the pleasure of closing pitch on first. We want to thank tonight's game sponsor, Lebanon Manufacturing Company, for sponsoring tonight's game and giving the first 1,500 fans to enter those games to the Long Island Ducks baseball cast. Fans, right now it's time to do well time game, whether a report drops to Ryan or whether the game will be down 61. Fans, it is currently 61 degrees in the ballpark under park. Plus the skies is very light temperature here in the ballpark. When you're heading home from the Long Island Railroad, the games are on for the schedule. When you're heading home by car, remember that starting at 10 p.m. tonight, the LIE is closed in both directions from exits 53 and 56. That's exits 53 and 56 of the Long Island Expressway in both directions after 10 p.m. Thank you, South Jackson Weather Report. Brought to you by East Jackson Weather. Keep it channel 61. No, it should be 48 of those things. And now, direct your attention up there to the next video board. And this work from the youth from Long Island.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the legacy. Connect with Cooperstown at baseball.org. Mike Piazza talks about the Baseball Hall of Fame. This connects you with the history of the game and the tradition of this game and how important this game is to the fabric of society.
But first, let's quickly go over the rules. You throw your official first balls down on the field into the following targets. To my right, my birthday boy David, we have a green bucket. Up here behind me, we have a wood green. And over there by Brian, we have another green bucket. Behind me by Vera and Jordan, we have a red bucket. If you get your ball inside any one of those 4 targets tonight, you'll be taking a prize from Plexus. But if you get your ball inside the barbecue, my brother, and some workshop, and our guest on field host today, Jason Liddick, you'll be entered into a raffle to possibly win a brand new barbecue from Plexus at the end of the season. The numbers on those radio calls, and your number is called, we're working using customer service center to claim your prize. Our line those fans not participating, please look out or get out of the way. Let's put 30 seconds up there on that clock. Bye-bye. Get set. Go!
That I've done just by playing. You can hold the whole thing on a great job. Reserving.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the passion. Connect with Cooperstown at baseball.org. Celebrate the game. Celebrate the passion. Baseball is different in a lot of ways, where the history of the sport means so much.
We welcome you back to the post-game show here on BridgeportBluefish.com. Terry Miles here. The Bluefish take down the Long Island Ducks in Game 1 of this 4-game series. And all the runs for the Bluefish who scored the 2nd and 3rd inning.
Nothing on the third base side.
And all the good was found alone in the off-ball. We advanced the second on the scoring base. We advanced the third on the ground ball. First, and a sacrifice fly on the end of the third. Competition forward with a line drive brother. Toward left center field. Meanwhile, Billy Rodriguez single hit. Gave the Bluefish a 2-0 lead. Another single by Eddie Rogers. Another single by Kennard Jones. Jones and Lopez picked up an RBI. Made that inning. They to a single. Prentice Redmond flew out. It's a 4-0 game. Meanwhile, the Conga roll in 30 runoff, he checked one out of the park solo drive to right field in that 3rd inning. Proves to be the difference in this contest. The final score, the Bluefish, meanwhile scored 5-4. Remember this, Long Island a furious rally. 5th inning, a Josh Johnson home run. In the 6th inning, an RBI single by Johnson as well. After, with 2 out, Sean Williams reaching on the 4 redirecting singles. And then Johnson hit an RBI single. 2 more runs that scored in the 7th inning. Ronald walk from Ortiz, a stolen base by him. Brandon Sin with a walk. Matt Esquivel followed with a single to left field. Driving 1, walk, the bases loaded. Gorecki single after Sean Williams struck out. The Bluefish were able to record the Brian Nelson out, and that probably was the biggest score of the night, other than the 1-9th inning. Bridgeport with Jorge Julio allowing Pedro Lopez to field the ball on the backhand. For certain, Ray Navarrete was heading home on the play, and the Bluefish get fortunate based on the bounce in that 9th inning as Bridgeport wins by a score of 5-4, 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, to 4 runs, 10 hits, and let's go through the box score for the game. 1 hit and 1 RBI for Jones. 1 hit, 1 RBI for Lopez. Nothing for Prentice Redmond, although his on-base streak is still alive at 24 consecutive, but his hitting streak is also finished at the mark that it was today. He had going in an 11-game hitting streak, which matched his season high, or rather matched Dalome's season high for the Bluefish. Delome 1 hit with 2 runs and an RBI, a hit for Vasquez. Peterson with 3 hits and a run scored. Meanwhile, Luis Rodriguez with a hit, a run scored, and an RBI, a hit, and a run for Eddie Rogers. Gilbert De La Mara picks up the win. 2-1 on the year, 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Jonah Bayless with an inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, and 3 walks. He struggled today, but he did strike out 1, and he picked up one of the biggest outs of the game, getting Bryant Nelson. Romeo Lewis with a scoreless inning and a strikeout. Jorge Julio picks up save number 4 with a scoreless frame, gives up 1 hit. Joe Esposito suffers the loss. He's now 2-3. 2 1/3 innings, 5-run baseball, 8 hits and a walk with a strikeout. Connor Graham, 2 2/3, a walk and 2 Ks. Dan Meyer, an inning pitched, a hit and a walk. Eric Neeson, an inning and 2/3, 3 walks. And Jeremy Hill, an inning and 1/3 with nothing across. Binnick 0-4-5 today. Ortiz 2 hits and a run. Singh, a run scored for the DH. Esquivel, 2 hits and an RBI. James McGowan pinch ran in that final frame. Not Navarrete, I do apologize. McGowan was the guy. But Sean Williams, 1 for 5 with a run scored. Reed Gorecki, 2 hits and an RBI. Nelson, nothing. Lyons, 1 hit. And also Josh Johnson, 2 hits, a run, and 2 ribbies. Both Navarrete and Johnson were replaced late in the game. It did not matter in the end as the Bluefish win by a score of 5-4. The rest of the post-game show is coming up following this. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on BridgeportBluefish.com.
You're searching for something you're actually looking for. When you flip through the real yellow pages for a plumber, you're actually looking to recreate your home from a renegade faucet. It's not just getting directions to a tailor with YP.com. It's looking your best for a year. It's more than fundamentally. YP.com and home is getting your motor trip back on track. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for. Real yellow pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your home, only from AT&T. Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. You search for real yellow pages and more than a contract. Now from New Curve, it's not just getting directions to a dry cleaning. YP.com is rescuing an old favorite back in the closet. And it's more than finding the box fan. YP.com it's getting to sleep in your own bed. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for. With the real yellow pages, YP.com and YP.com at home, only from AT&T.
Baseball legend Henry Aaron reflects on his Hall of Fame legacy.
I think that since I played for the public this year, what I did in my life was with baseball. It's the proudest moment of my life to give everything to the game. I often tell people that need to see it. There is no other building in the world that can baseball.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the legacy. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org. Mike Piazza talks about the Baseball Hall of Fame.
It just connects you with the history of the game, the tradition of this game, and how important this game is to the fabric of society. It's something I used to bond with my father, and I'll love to sort of teach my kids the history of baseball. And
preserving history, honoring excellence, connecting generations. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org. Jimmy Rollins talks about the Baseball Hall of Fame.
This band is in the same place that all these great football players, reside at now. They're where you find the steps, their jerseys, their numbers, their cleats, and to have something of mine, that is something that anybody that goes to the Hall of Fame.
Preserve, honoring excellence, connecting generations. At the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org. Celebrate the game. Celebrate the passion.
Baseball is different in a lot of ways, where the history of the sport means so much. And it's something we should never forget. And I think the Hall of Fame has a way of reminding us.
Any time that I've visited, it's just like a weekend. You people at the Hall of Fame have done a great job preserving the history of the game.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the passion. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org. Celebrate the game. Celebrate the passion.
Baseball is different in a lot of ways, where the history of the sport means so much. And it's something we should never forget. And I think the Hall of Fame has a way of reminding us.
Any time that I've visited, it's just like a weekend. You people at the Hall of Fame have done a great job preserving the history of the game.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the passion. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
We welcome you back to the Bluefish broadcast. Perry Miles here. The final score from Bethpage Ballpark. The Bluefish hold on for a 5-4 win, and for a moment there, it was getting a bit testy. Of the situation a bit tenuous, as Long Island appeared to be on their way to making a comeback, but the Bluefish stopped Long Island in their trail, as Bridgeport now only 2.5 games behind the front-running Ducks. Meanwhile, that was not the only game in town. We'll go to AtlanticLeague.com, PointStreak.com to check out the latest scores and summaries from around the Atlantic League, all beginning with the contest in Camden, or in Somerset rather. The River Sharks take down the Patriots by a score of 4-3. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs made a charge late but lose by a score of 7-6. And in Sugar Land, the Skeeters, they continue to win They just won 5 out of 6 on the road with a victory tonight against Lancaster. They would pull within a game and a half of the first-place Barnstormers, as that division is up in the air at this point. The rain is falling at Bethpage Ballpark. It is dropping like cats and dogs now as the tarp crew makes its way to the field to try to cover up most of the grass and, of course, most of the field, if not all of the field. Those are your scores from around the Atlantic League. Let's quickly take a look at ESPN.com for the latest scores and summaries from around Major League Baseball. The New York Mets trail the San Diego Padres by a score of 6-1, and that's in the bottom half of the 5th inning. They were in a long rain delay. Other games going on right now: San Francisco 8 and Miami 1. Minnesota 5-4 lead on the Chicago White Sox, bottom half of the 5th inning. Philadelphia 6-4 lead against St. Louis, top of the 5th inning with a runner at first. 2 finals tonight: Cleveland 2 and Detroit 1. Cincinnati doubles up Atlanta 6-3, and Seattle and the LA Angels at 10-10 tonight. Meanwhile, in the NBA, the Miami Heat leading by 3 against the Indiana Pacers with 4 minutes and 28 seconds on the clock in the third quarter. Miami, if they win, they'll go to the Eastern Conference Final and take on either the Philadelphia 76ers or the Boston Celtics. In NHL play tomorrow, New York Rangers, New Jersey Devils from the Rock. The Devils lead the series 3-2 and are hoping to close out the series. The Rangers need a great game out of Henrik Lundqvist because last night was anything but from the Rangers stalwart between the pipes. Thank you for tuning in to the Bluefish broadcast today. Perry Miles here. And just one more last piece of news. Giants Hakeem Nicks has a broken metacarpal and is out for 12 weeks, although he will have an opportunity to probably return for the first week of the season. OTAs are rather important and all these other workouts, but in the end, Hakeem Nicks might be doing his own workout. We thank you for tuning in. I am Perry Miles. Tomorrow we'll be back for a 7:05 first pitch from Bethpage Ballpark, a 6:45 pregame show as the Bluefish and Long Island Ducks tangle for the second time in this series. Bridgeport now goes to 15-12, and they're going to hope to go to 16-12 with Paul Segura on the hill. 5 starts, 1 win and 2 losses with an ERA of 3.60 against Gustavo Chacin, the former big leaguer. 2 starts, no wins, no losses, and an ERA of 7.5. The Bluefish improved to 8-6 on the road. They're 13-10 in the month of May, and they're 15-12 overall. And their record in 2012 against Long Island improves to 4 wins and no losses. Thank you for tuning in. I am Perry Miles. For more information on Bluefish Baseball, go to the website, bridgeportbluefish.com, or send me an email, perrym86@gmail.com, for the latest. We'll be back here tomorrow night, 6:45 p.m. for a 7:05 first pitch from Bethpage Ballpark. Have a wonderful night, friends, and we hope to see you again soon.